All right, I would do the little play the trailer thing for the start of the stream, except this game doesn't have that. So we'll just get started. How are we doing, everybody?
Hello. Your favorite power couple is back to celebrate. Um, what was like the funniest term that new holiday, new month that I think it was Utah's Fidelity Month.
I didn't know that there were alternate names for it.
Oh yeah,
It
yeah.
it's
A
it,
bunch of states are
it
passing legislation
it's
to rebrand June.
it's Men's Health Month, right? Like Men's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Is is it?
I think it is actually. That is funny to like pass in a state legislature a rebrand of like an informal
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure there isn't any like federal designation of June being Pride
Now
Month.
listen, you people on Twitter, if you're in Utah, you better they're gonna throw the book at you if you celebrate Pride Month.
But yeah, we're not here for positivity. We made it out of Summer Games Fest.
I slept
We
through the Xbox showcase.
Yeah, because we were gonna stream it. I'm glad we didn't.
Well, so like after Jeff's show, which I didn't even intend to like really stream it. I was just like, yeah, we'll do that for a bit, but like obviously this is a Fallout 3 stream, and then the boredom just kind of took over, and I was like, I don't know if I can do Xbox after that.
I was the Xbox One was better, just because like there was nothing at Jeff's show. That was a rough one for sure. 30 fucking minutes of Gears of War. Yeah, so my takeaway from the Gears of War thing was it's funny that they're making it a console exclusive again. Because when you look at like the sales numbers and the player counts and stuff on Steam for Gears of War, like the last release and stuff that was on Steam, it's like abysmal. They didn't sell shit. So it's like okay, yeah, sure, you guys can make that one the exclusive. There was something really bizarre about the announcement, though. They're like, we're happy to announce that this is going to be a console exclusive. It's like, I'm trying to come up with like a good analogy.
Um,
It'd be like
well,
the
there has been discourse that's like, um, it's bad that Xbox went to PlayStation because look at the quality of the game since then.
yeah. Well, there's a few things going on here. There's that, and then there's also the audience that Xbox has cultivated over the past like decade now. I said this in my Starfield video where it's like you created an audience through like gaslighting and like anti-consumerist practices and just like all sorts of nonsense. And now that you're releasing stuff on other platforms and everything, you're expecting them to behave rationally and like be okay that they have to share their toys with the other kids. And it's like, no, that's not how this is gonna play out. And sure as shit, now they're sitting here trying to I don't even know what the fuck the game plan is. Well, the game plan now is massive layoffs. Like, it is really funny that not even 5 days after their boring ass conference went through, and basically everyone said the same shit, that it was like there really wasn't much there. Now they're like, oh yeah, we're probably going to be laying off like thousands of workers and doing a complete restructure and everything like that. Which
Well,
like was obviously going to happen because Asha Sharma was coming in, and it's just like this. There's no way like this fucking
yeah,
division is bleeding money right now.
well,
There's no
and
way
an
this
AI person
continues.
coming in and
Yeah,
is
exactly.
going to cut people's jobs. Which, how bad do you have to have fucked up where the AI person taking your job is considered to be like a good thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it is the gaslighting that I think turns a lot of people off. It's obviously pretty effective on some people,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of people who just they're not going to go for that.
I was reading an article from PC Gamer, so you know it was certified amazing. And it was basically talking about reasons you should boycott Xbox. Like his whole thesis is like it's never been easier to boycott Xbox than it is right now. And he basically just laid out the whole like their conference sucked and everything like that. But then of course he ties it into you know the Israel Palestine thing, and how Microsoft was like giving the Israeli military like access to Azure and like all sorts of surveillance tech and all this stuff, and like that was his main
That
gripe.
Yeah, I'm going to stop buying the video games because
Yeah.
and it's like, first of all, you're 10 years late.
Yeah. Yeah, but also it's like you had a good argument, and then you did the usual game journalist thing. It's like the people who advocate for like mass transit and everything. They're like, yeah, you can make a great argument about the economics of it and the the lifestyle of it and everything, and then they'll just throw in, oh, and it's also good for the climate, and it's just like, you don't. There are some
No,
arguments
hang on.
you
Let's be clear.
you just
It's
don't
never
have to
just
make.
and also it's good for the climate. It's always that's the first thing, and they're gonna spend 5 minutes explaining it.
Yeah, so that was that's exactly how this article was going. Like he started with the Israel thing and then ended with it. And it's just like, the middle part it was kind of it was a bit too wordy for my taste, but it was, you know, it's nice to see somebody calling them out, I guess. But
I mean, no, it's Pride Month. We got to be pro-Israel. That's still like a funny super rad thing. The random Israel rant, buried like 24 minutes into the video. But I don't know. I linked you that thing about games journalists
yeah.
collapse,
Yeah, I read it.
which I'm
That
pretty
is
sure
pretty.
that's just some guy.
Yeah. Yeah, for a while I was like, was this in like some sort of journal? Was this published? And it's just like there's nothing in there that indicates that. It's just probably some dude on 4chan just making a
Guy who wants it to be
very
very
elaborate
clear
shit
that
post.
guy who wants it to be very clear that he thinks that Zoe Quinn did not have sex with that guy at IGN. And the brightness way the fuck up. Whenever I last play this, I was on dark mode. Probably because I was on an LCD. Because I've got like saves and stuff, and it was like, man, I don't think New Vegas is supposed to be this dark.
Yeah, so we're finally up to the games that I've never seen on a CRT before. 'Cause, Fallout New Vegas, my first time playing it was PC. I've actually never played it on console. By this point, this was I played this when I was in like senior year of high school, so I was a PC gamer by then.
Yeah, um, I was firmly out of CRT, so I'm excited to get to it. I think we're gonna turn the difficulty down so I don't have to. Yeah. Also, I'm a gamer and I played on very hard back in the day.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Fallout New Vegas, it, once you get past a certain level, you kind of do have to play it on hard mode. We did have a super chat earlier.
Gotcha.
Do we prefer the Fallout 3 New Vegas crafting approach using specific objects, or the Fallout 476 one of using components inside various junk objects?
Fallout 4 was an improvement in that sense. You can actually see there's a bit of progression from Fallout 3 to New Vegas to 4 in the way that
Yeah.
things were going. New Vegas is way too menu heavy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Fallout
It is.
4
Yeah.
its benefit is that like it refined um just that process because if you've ever tried like late game crafting in New Vegas,
Yeah.
it's just like
Yeah.
sifting through the inventory. So thankfully
And
I have.
it's also like, why bother? Because it's so like getting stuff in this game is like so easy.
Yeah,
Like getting
thankfully
stim packs, getting ammo and everything.
thankfully I start with a pre-order bonus. 3 of them,
Oh,
not 4.
throw that shit in the dumpster. We don't do that here. You're not a real gamer if you don't throw all of the pre-order DLC stuff into the dumpster next to what's his name? Chet?
I always put it
I
in
forget.
Victor's house. But yeah,
Uh,
you should
yeah,
get
I
rid
always
you
throw it
should
into
get rid of
that
it
dumpster.
if you are like gonna be doing an actual playthrough of New Vegas.
But yeah, I prefer the Fallout 476 one because it adds it just adds a new economy to the game. I I'm always a sucker for economies. It adds a just like it's a neat crafting loop. I thought Fallout 4 76 was pretty good too. The 76 it started to get a little bit too much. Starfield it is way too much. But Fallout 4 I thought it had like a good balance there
If
with
Starfield
like
got
the
you
amount of
more
items it
invested into
had.
it, it would be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. But again, it's the Fallout New Vegas issue of like, why am I going to bother with all this crafting when like it's trivial for me to get all of this stuff just out in the world?
Well, so like in the patron video, I talk about ammo crafting and how you can't even automate that, right? You can automate crafting random junk to generate credits, of which there's no need for, but
Yeah.
the automation of like explosive ammo so you can run around with a rocket launcher, no. Sorry.
Yeah, that is weird. I mean, the original idea was like you were going to be able to manufacture ship parts and stuff. That would have been really cool. I wish that made it into the game.
Wish that it was good. New Vegas
Yeah,
being a good game would be, or sorry, Starfield being a good game. Talk about Freudian slips. Crafting is a point where, you, as you said, you can get any modification you want in 4 just by exploring. Yeah, I'm pretty sure crafting only holds together if you really commit to, like, I'm going to be a landlord.
yeah. Which is that's how I usually play that game. Just going around starting settlements and everything. Because, fuck, God for I've I think I've beaten that game once. The story. It's like I never seen the BOS or the railroad ending outside of like on YouTube.
You have. You just, it's the same thing, but the people in the cutscene are different.
You seem to have this weird thing for Krakow, so hi from Krakow. Do you? I don't know what that's a reference to.
Krakow's a city in Poland. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what I did. All right, so I guess let's get to talking about the conference. Now you watched it, so it's gonna be on you. I only saw like the bits I actually cared about, which is really kind of the way you should.
Yeah. Well, okay, so it starts off with it started off with Gears of War, which is funny because it's like it starts off and then it ends with Gears of War. So they really
It's
had
like
nothing else to
poetic.
show. But then they had Matt Booty and Asha Sharma come on stage and stuff, and as I expected, Sharma does have better stage presence than Bond, and Matt Booty is comparable to Spencer in terms of charisma, I think, but he has a less punchable face. So overall, I'll say that was an improvement.
Well, it's just like, thank God they're gone.
Really were like they man, they had no chemistry on stage. And like it sounds like I'm making an issue out of something that should be like a non-issue, but it really does help when you have somebody coming out there who can at least like hold an audience, right? Like Jeff Keighley, his shows suck, sure, but he can come out there and like actually be just entertaining in just how he presents and stuff.
I come
And
for
same with
Jeff.
I mean
Yeah.
Todd Howard is like a master at it as well. Like you'd know the dude is just talking total bullshit, but it's just like yeah, they just have that charisma. They have that presence. And there's nothing worse than being fed spoon-fed bullshit from people who don't even have that. And that was the issue with like Spencer and Bond. It was just like, oh god, these two. After listening to them bullshit, I just cannot stand even listening to them or looking at them. So if you're going to bullshit, at least be a good bullshitter.
Well, and their
That's
entire
my take.
grift was just, how do we keep our job for one more year?
Yeah.
They were just terrible when it came to being like figureheads of this
Yeah.
massive gaming conglomerate.
Yeah.
Executives should just not be seen. I don't know, they should. I think that's one of the benefits of the current games industry is that we get to see these clowns have
Yeah.
to come out and do a presentation every year.
I mean, to be honest, that really is the job of a CEO. Is to basically be the figurehead for that. It'd be like saying you should never see the president. It's like, no, that's their job is to be seen.
The Biden era, you should never see the president.
Yeah.
Which it's funny because like Joe Biden lost because of how he had no presence as president.
Yeah.
Found our first bug.
It really does. It does matter, especially when your job is selling things. But did you see the new Xbox?
The
The
it's a
the
throwback
25th
to the
anniversary
like
one?
yeah, it's a throwback to like it's not even okay. The original Xbox is black and green.
Yeah,
What they showed is like the Halo 2 special edition Xbox,
yeah.
or at least the aesthetic of it. Which I mean, like that's fine. Um,
I
transparent
thought it looked.
electronics are cool and all. It should be noted that transparent electronics are prison core. So there are jokes that can be made in regards to choosing to have a transparent clamshell on your electronics. When you were here, we went to that music store and they sold
Yeah,
prison CRTs,
yeah.
which have
Yeah, I didn't know that was
transparent shells. Yeah.
yeah, I didn't know, and you had to explain it, so I'll explain it to the audience who aren't catching on. They have to be transparent so that inmates can't hide contraband in it.
So they're cool to collect because you can get like laptops and MP3 players and stuff with these transparent clamshells. So it's always funny when someone's gimmick is like there's going to be a special edition like transparent, look how cool this is, and it's like, so like I'm a prisoner.
Well, it's prisoner.
Bug
It's kind of counterculture, and counterculture is usually cool. So, you know.
must kill bug, must kill bug.
Yeah, I wasn't very impressed with the. Oh, that's what you meant about bug. I got it.
Bug man.
Yeah, I wasn't very impressed with the design. And of course they didn't have any price on it because they don't know what the price is going to be because of you know, events going on.
Certain. Oh, I like that we're treating it like it's a COVID event and not that it's just AI are buying up all the RAM and
Yeah.
nobody can afford to release new systems.
No,
And
what's funny is like I saw this comment somewhere and somebody was like, "So, you have Microsoft complaining about an issue that Microsoft created."
yeah, it's funny that like Steam catches flack for it when they're not anywhere near responsible for the shortage. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
listen, in the future, you're not going to have access to new hardware because it's going to be too expensive. You're also really not going to have access to cloud gaming because most of the AI data center it can't actually run programs. So you're just going to have access to AI games. Sorry, it's the worst of all futures. You rejected cloud gaming. Does New Vegas look better on
I'm
the
all
CRT
for.
than Fallout 3? Um, a bit. The sky's very blue. Um, yeah, the piss filter's not as bad, I would say.
I think we've just established that this TV has a thing with blue.
It's very strong with the color blue.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, if your artists are working with the assumption that there's going to be a backlight, then they can color things certain ways that there's the on an LED monitor, the sky is very milky, but when there's phosphors involved, then suddenly that rich color comes out, and so there's something to be said that it could be lost. But Halo, uh,
Yeah.
Andy's going to be talking about Halo after this stream. We didn't coordinate anything, but I don't want to stream over him. Uh,
Yeah.
I am interested to hear what he has to say. It's a weird thing where um, they seem determined to market the game in a way that is unappealing when they have something that they could work with in regards to marketing it. And there's just weird
Like what?
things. Well, like it kind of looks cool. It's not a Halo CEA situation where it's just like every asset clashes with every other asset. And so it's like, you know what? I'm down for seeing the familiar with new lighting. I think that's a cool part of remakes. Obviously, it's going to be contentious because if I thought Oblivion being remade was unnecessary, and that being a game with flawed design, I'm probably not going to be favorable of a game that I think is nearly perfect being remade.
Yeah.
Uh,
And so you actually didn't, because I saw that whole like showcase and I thought it looked abysmal. I thought it
there's
was
some
like,
there's some bad decisions for sure, but I'm more interested in seeing it than most remakes, just because um, I don't know. It's a little better than most remakes I've seen. I think Resident Evil's the only series I've ever seen remade that actually looks visually cohesive, at least.
yeah.
But there's other things like I'm curious. Like I guess brutes are going to be in Halo CE now. I'm curious to see how that works out.
Well, I think they're just in the prequel
Well,
missions.
that's what I thought. But there have been like they have shown like the brute spiker showing up in other parts of the game. And there is a skull that changes what factions can show up in what places. So,
Okay.
which is something I'm interested in because I'd be very curious to like,
See how Halo 1 would play with
yeah,
brutes
it's like
showing up.
silent cartographer, but it's a flood level. It's like I don't know. That sounds like
Yeah, that
a
sounds
cool
novel.
way to do things. But then like so you get this cool idea. It's like, you know what? I think flood firefight is cool. I think that could be a cool idea. And then it's like, by the way, we're going to have an ever-present reminder on the screen of how you shoot your gun. Because we really need to tell players that it's left mouse button to fire their gun at all times. And it's like, "Oh, it literally it's like that the entire time. There'll be something that, I'm like, "Okay, this could be cool." And then they just like violently shit their pants. It's like you can, toggle the sprint as a setting. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. And then they're like, actually, it's not a setting, it's a skull, and you're going to have to find it somewhere in the game.
What? Why?
Well, so obviously that to me that you obviously have to ask the question, why wouldn't it be the case where you find the skull and that unlocks the ability to sprint?
Yeah. Because so like okay, so they're probably not or are they? Are they redesigning the levels and stuff so that you have to be sprinting around basically, otherwise it's just like
From the gameplay I've
misery.
seen, it looks like you move slower in general. And
Yeah.
it's the same level sizes, like the space wise.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the sprint just does
Uh,
not look like a good addition to Halo CE. Turning off the hit markers is an option in the menu. Yeah, like it's stuff like that where they're almost there. It doesn't seem like they have a real authentic vision to how they should accomplish these. And it's like you left it on very hard, I think. I did die really fast, but I feel like I'm killing the other stuff. Oh wow, I did. Okay. I mean, that's how good this stupid fucking pre-order shotgun is that like you don't even know you're on very hard.
Yeah.
Remaking it screams 343 not knowing what to do. No, it's like it is their equivalent of teasing that we're going back to Blood Gulch this season, guys. It's going to be like it used to be. Anytime they have like a crisis of identity, ooh. Okay. Well, we found bugs. Anytime they have like a crisis of identity, they always go back to the well of reinventing Halo CE. And like they they put that stupid fucking second level of Halo into all of their stuff and like, guys, this is Halo. Halo Infinite is like an entire game of the second level of Halo. So like they're just kind of caught in the past. Hello?
What, the game crash? Hello?
I think we're I think it locked up the Xbox. So
Well, it's good to know Fallout New Vegas crashes on consoles.
here's the thing is I don't even remember New Vegas having crashing issues back in the day. Because I'd played it a bit
Um,
into its patch cycle.
I played it at launch. I don't really remember all that much. I don't think it was particularly that bad on my PC. I mean, the problem was that my PC was also just like super outdated. So like any issues I probably was just gonna chalk up to, oh, my PC's a piece of crap. So of course I can't, play this new game.
Well, there you go. We're officially in an authentic stream.
Resident Evil reuses assets that use the same engine and matching art style. 343 reuses assets from completely different engines where the art styles are different.
Ah, the engine. I'm still not clear on what's going on with the remaster. Is it game remade in Unreal Engine, or is it the old engine but the graphics are in Unreal Engine?
I'm going to assume it's all been remade in Unreal.
Apparently, it was
Because it's
worse on
not.
PlayStation 3. Every Bethesda game is worse on PlayStation.
But yeah, I don't see the reason for them to do a Frankenstein engine the way they did with Oblivion Remastered, just because, like, it's just a first person shooter. Like, Unreal Engine was built for first person shooters, so.
But consider it is 343.
Well, it's not even 343. It's an
Sorry,
outsourced studio.
it's Halo Studios. It's
no, no. It's not even.
no. I know that, but I'm saying they call themselves Halo Studios now because that's the umbrella of outsourced studios.
Mm, okay, I gotcha. Again, the gaslighting. It's a ship of Theseus sort of situation. how how much of 343 can you remove before it's no longer 343?
Well, I mean they're about to have mass layoffs at Xbox, so
Man, man,
rest in piss, assholes.
it's yeah, it's not looking good over there.
So who do you think gets hit?
That's a good question. Who isn't unionized?
Well, like, I mean, yeah, talk about a good move. Bethesda got bought out and immediately unionized. So it's like they're
What's
probably
that?
going to see minimal
A,
layoffs
a
at
litigious
Bethesda.
the studio from the litigious parent company knew immediately what to do after a buyout.
Yeah, they're like, we are not allowing any of our people to unionize, but now that we're owned, we're keeping our jobs.
Yeah.
We knew how good of an idea it was. We just didn't want anyone else to do it.
Yeah, I'm curious. Obsidian? What's Obsidian got going on? They
Yeah, I
might
think
they might get a haircut.
I played Launch New Vegas on PS3, and only issue I remember is long loading. How long did you play New Vegas on the PlayStation 3? Because as I understand, Bethesda games, their save files corrupt faster on PlayStation, just
Yeah.
because they didn't use the memory correctly. So
Well, I've also heard that the load times get longer too because of that. And I just remember doing the fucking Dark Brotherhood quest line, or not the Thieves Guild quest line in Skyrim on Xbox 360, and like going for that achievement to get all the you know the one.
yeah, you got to do 50 jobs.
Yeah. Oh
Okay, so
man.
it's loading screen out of the cistern, loading screen to fast travel to the city, loading
Hmm.
screen to get into the house, loading screen to get back out of the house, loading screen to fast travel back to Riften, and loading screen to get back into the cistern. So it's 6 loading screens
Yeah, you're actually
per.
forgetting. No, that it it's it'd be 7 per, because it's not the cistern you're going into. You're going into the Ragged Flagon, because that's where
Right.
the
Well
that's where
then,
the job
well then it'd be 8
8. Yeah,
because you got to get back in too.
yeah.
Uh, for
And
reference,
each I would say
Starfield
like
average
yeah.
Starfield quest 13 loading screen for a basic quest.
But at least you had to install that on an SSD, so those loading screens were fast. The the Thieves Guild thing was just like brutal because half of those loading screens would be like 30 plus seconds long. Is I probably lost like a good 3 hours of my life to loading screens doing that shit. Yeah,
So
who else is on the chopping block? I bet it's probably going to be like a lot of Activision Blizzard studios, right?
they're the ones who are already firing all their employees all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, instead of hearing about Classic Plus at Summer Games Fest, we're
We didn't
gonna
hear any.
no, we
Did we
did
hear?
not. That was a speculation, which
Uh,
completely unfounded. There's no reason to think that they would ever announce that at Summer Games Fest. But
when is
instead of that, we're
BlizzCon?
gonna hear about layoffs. Never.
Oh, they finally just stopped.
I think
They
it
don't have- they
died
don't-
during COVID.
Oh, okay. Well, that'll save them some money.
Don't worry, guys. Halo is alive though. Halo
Yeah.
Fest sold out.
There's a Halo Fest?
Yeah, whenever they want to sell a Halo game, they suddenly remember that there's a Halo Fest and put it on. And the only reason people go is they want to like try the demos.
Yeah.
This is one of my I don't know why it's one of my favorite encounters in the game. Just this little roadside ambush in this town that does not exist.
Yeah.
New Vegas
New
is
Vegas
weird
has some of these.
because yeah, it's like so the city of Vegas is like at the level of it was in the 80s,
Mm-hmm.
but then there's a bunch of these like random towns in the middle of the desert, like Novak. Novak just does that. There's no town there in real life. They've fabricated that for the game. So it's funny seeing it like, and that town that doesn't exist in real life. And then there's also stuff like Gene is just a shack. And it's like, no, there's a casino there in Gene in real life. Or there was. It's closed now, but the one in Prim's closed too. I was remarking the other day that I'm happy I got to visit it before it closed.
Oh yeah. Got 2 super chats. New Vegas, game freeze when you finish reloading and immediately enter VATS during combat. Fire shot first before VATS. Also, CE Remake is already reusing Reach animations with the vehicle hijacking. And the second super chat was, got all 4 endings, 30-ish hours per character, with no internet for patches. I'm not trying to flex, that was just how it was when I was younger.
Yeah, it's people always you see that internet discourse online of like, how could game reviewers have given this a low enough score that it averaged an 84 and they didn't get their bonus, and it's like, it was in a rough state when it came out. That's why.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be gay. It's Pride Month, and also it's a really good perk.
Yeah. I mean, even Obsidian like said, they were like, yeah, it was rough. We wish we had more time to iron out some of those bugs and stuff, but like they understood why they got the reception that they did.
Yeah, what actually happened? I've gonna be recording this soon, so I'm not gonna say it. But there's an interesting story and like parallels to Bethesda and Obsidian as companies. And then the differences make it even more interesting. It's fascinating. I get why people are like so obsessed with comparing the two and coming up with this rivalry that they're supposed to have happened. When in reality, what actually happened is it's the usual. Bethesda Game Studios and Bethesda Softworks are 2 different companies. Bethesda Softworks are full of dicks. They do dickish things, and so like, when you hear about the PowerPoint presentation of here's everything you did wrong as a company and you should feel bad, that was, come on, you know who was heading that meeting. It was Pete Hines. Pete Hines with a shotgun pointed at everybody's dicks was like, here's how you fucked up.
You got a $500 SEK. I don't know what SEK is, but you got. I think it's a big dono
with no comment.
It's red. Yeah, no comment.
Well, thank you.
It is SEK.
Yeah, I need to get stream elements to show super chats on the little OBS preview.
Yeah.
I mean, I have that tablet stand. I could just set my tablet up. It's a second screen experience.
Okay, that's Swedish krona. Right. 52.75.
I'll say something offensive so I can buy Lego with it. But yeah, so I am excited to, out of morbid curiosity, to try the campaign evolved.
Microsoft needs to force Todd Howard to go back to making games and nothing else. Have someone else make TV shows and all the other stuff he does now. Actually, I disagree. I think it should be the opposite. I think they should force him to retire and go off and do his own TV show stuff.
The
He's
Japanese
so out
solution.
Of touch. He is so out of touch with like what makes a good RPG these days.
Yeah, I was just once again making fun of Starfield's long ass introduction. I was thinking, I phrase it like They were analyzing why Fallout 76 didn't do well, and they're like, well, Fallout 76 had a short intro. That's why it reviewed poorly. Like they're just completely oblivious. They're like they're allowed to see what review scores they get, but not actually read the reviews, and so they have to just guess at why they got reviewed poorly. And so they're like, it must be because it had a short intro. So then Starfield has that fucking 90-minute long intro. I was gonna bring it up last week, but it was a little distasteful. We didn't discuss discourse of the week last week,
Oh,
so I wanna make sure that you're familiar with what everybody was talking about 2 weeks ago.
yeah.
The big drama, besides the Lego story, which
Yeah.
remains something I recommend. The big drama was, um, is it ethical as a YouTuber to announce that you have aborted your child with Down syndrome?
What? What?
You heard me.
um, okay. Go on.
It's always been my opinion that in the West, it says a lot about a culture, their stance on when they kill retarded people. You have Canada where that's a reason you can get euthanized, and then
Yes.
you have parts of the United States where we do it when they're before they're born. And then we have other parts of the United States where it's like, no, we need to let them commit a crime first, and then we'll do it. No, so like honestly, the way I looked at it, and I think this is the only reasonable take. I know there's people who are like, it's wrong to ever abort a child. I'm fine with it if it's like a disabled kid. It's just the telling everybody about it part.
That, yeah, that is basically what I was gonna say. I mean,
I know
I was
that.
just gonna say, just don't broadcast it. Don't go out. There's just certain things people don't need to know.
Yeah, I'm even thinking like if you were making a video that's like, yeah, I've been going through a hard time lately, and you were listing all these things that happened, and like it was a bullet point on that list, then like sure, but like that being the main topic, living your life a little
Yeah,
too out loud.
yeah, and just it's just not a smart thing to go around talking about. I feel you got another 200 Swedish kroner dono with no message.
I be, I'm gonna bet it's super chats are weird. I think it's not enough to be able to send a message, maybe, but it's enough to like make YouTube think that it's a lot. I don't know who it might turn out to be like $20. So in which case,
Oh, it was
thank
the
you.
same. It was actually it was the same guy.
Yeah, I saw the same icon.
Yeah.
So the Swedes are not coming out. Will he still donate if I criticize Milyang, or will he donate more because I said the name right? Um,
it's they're owned by an American company now. It is Mojang.
their terms of service is kind of messed up.
Speaking of terms of services, Bethesda at E3 or not E3 at the Microsoft conference.
Oh, hey guys.
It was it was you who sent me that reaction that
Yeah,
guy
the
on
the
Twitter,
guy
right?
just annoyed.
Saying the quiet part out loud.
Well,
It's like, I don't
saying
give a fuck about Fallout 76. I don't give a fuck about ESO.
Yeah, and people were like, why would you... I proposed that they should just go by ZeniMax in that situation. People were like,
You do.
why would they go by ZeniMax? The studio that developed it was Bethesda. And I'm like, because it's bad PR. And that's the whole point of ZeniMax, is to absorb the bad PR.
Yeah.
It is
You
literally
don't.
bad PR to put Bethesda's name on anything that isn't Tez 6. And if they don't have that to show, they need to just stay quiet.
Yes. No, they really. Man. There's a lot to unpack there, but I can see ESO having something to say if it's like an expansion, but 76, it was just a season. Like they weren't even announcing a new. It was just a season. And
Hey,
it's
that's like
why?
expansions.
Why? Yeah. Another battle pass, just like. But it's also like, come on, guys. There's there's a playable build of uh Tez 6. Matt Booty was playing it.
I think one of these legionaries grabbed that mercenary's gun because it was weird that the mercenary didn't have a weapon.
So like at this point, you guys can at least tell us like what the province is and like just something, anything. I know you want your big moment and everything, Todd, but like these are special circumstances right now. You guys have been taking L after L. I think you need to finally get onto the gamers' time schedule here and give them something.
No, you will get Fallout 3 remastered, and you will
Yeah.
repost the bots that shill it.
Which is also like there was another thing too. It's like apparently Fallout 3 and New Vegas are both being remastered. There's been a bunch of leaks and everything like that. You know, same shit that was happening with Oblivion remaster. And it's just like you can't at least like show up with some slides and be like, "Hey, this we're making this." Like
No, everything has to be shadow dropped now. It would be funny if,
except for the 76 and ESO content.
I've always wanted... I don't know. It's so unfair that, like, of the game companies that had total leaks, it was like Insomniac. I want a leak. I want like a 70 terabyte leak of Bethesda documents.
Yeah.
I want to see the memos because I want to know, like, is there current market...
We know these exist. We know
Yeah.
there's a lot of documentation.
Is their current approach to marketing informed by, like, people were picking apart our trailers? So, like, it would be funny if, like, the Starfield streams are the reason that they're like, we need to shadow drop everything now.
I'm almost positive that is the case. I mean, not necessarily our streams, but just, you know, content creators in general.
Yeah. Well, it's probably a
it's
weird, myopic way of presenting it where it's like, so it's not us, but it is people who are making critical streams in it. But then it's like, but who is making critical Starfield streams? Everybody was like either not talking about it or being very bullish. I think like Indigo, when he hosted that one stream where we went on and Zarek was there, that was like the only other person besides us to do like a analysis of the marketing style stream.
I don't
prior
know.
to the game coming out.
There's gotta be a cottage industry of like Bethesda haters, which we are.
Oh, there
not.
is.
We are absolutely not a part of that. Neither of us are Bethesda channels.
Ignore what you see on screen.
It does feel like it's in reaction to things. If it's not that, then it's probably I'll change my answer. Actually, it probably is the Pete Hines idea of like managing expectations and stuff like that. So like, you know, they got blown the fuck out with Fallout 76, and they were probably just like, oh, we overpromised with this, right? So
Sure.
we're gonna stop overpromising, and that translates to we're just not gonna talk about the games anymore. That might be it.
Well, but they were talking about Starfield for years before it came out. Because someone pointed
This
out, and this is something that we
no.
knew, because when we went through the Starfield stuff, I was like, I was pointing out, they did this. They had these like they had this one style of trailer where the devs would like sit down around a table and talk about what they were working on,
Yeah.
and that had like 3 episodes, and then they abandoned it. And then they had
Yeah.
another one that was like, let's get the developers one on one to answer questions, and they did 2 episodes of that, and then they abandoned that. So there were, and then they had like were showing concept art, and Emil was like talking about the basic premise of factions, and they did like 3 episodes of that, and then abandoned that idea.
Maybe they were like reading like discourse on the internet and stuff like that, and gauging how people were reacting to it, and like what they were talking about, and they were just like not pleased with the discussions that were happening.
It, it-
Like
but
maybe that's
I
what
don't
what it
even think there were
was.
that many critical discussions. Again, like I don't know. From my perspective of being there, I do not remember there being that many negative perceptions of Starfield's marketing before the game came
There
out.
was no, there really wasn't. But maybe it wasn't necessarily negative. Maybe they were just afraid of people speculating.
I think it was that those trailers just didn't get very many views. And they were like, "Oh, we thought based on who we are that a trailer of Emil that with no audio processing to cut out like mouth noises and stuff. The 90 seconds of him giving a summary of a faction over a single piece of concept art being zoomed across. We thought that was at least 500,000 views for a trailer, and it only got like 50,000.
Yeah.
Let's rethink our strategy.
Yeah, that could be it too. I didn't know it was that abysmal. There
Yeah, no, some of those trailers just got no views. I think like the 2 demos they did were the only times that they got like meaningfully substantive numbers of views.
well, yeah, because they're finally showing gameplay. I
Well, yeah,
may-
it's not a
I
series, so
guess
it's not a thing where people are
yeah, I
going to be
guess
like chomping at the bit for any morsel of information. I mean, I genuinely think they thought they were auteurs in such a way that they could like announce a new IP and people would just be like clinging on to, subscribe to the Bethesda channel and ring
yeah.
that bell. I got to get my updates on. They just dropped a video about the fucking UC.
Yeah.
Wrote
What's weird
dual
is that
grenade
like
launchers.
I feel that marketing campaign would work with Tez 6. Like imagine if they were like piecemeal dropping info like this is what the Thalmor have been doing and stuff. It's like I think that would actually do really well. The problem was that it was fucking Starfield. Nobody knew anything about it. So it's like how are people supposed to get excited for that? Like yeah, it's a Bethesda product, but
That was so
like,
fucked.
what does that mean?
It means as little as it can, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that is the case. They're just like, you know what, we want to just hold off until we can blow everyone away with like a whole 30-minute gameplay demo of Tez 6. Like, get Todd out there just explaining everything, and we just want it all to be perfect. That's probably the rationale.
But will it work this time?
It's a very good question.
Weren't people moaning about square shotgun shells? Can we retire moaning when we're talking about like people saying stuff? And that was after the demo, so that was in like 2022.
Yeah.
No, it will always stand out that like Mark Kern's first infamous tweet was him talking about Starfield's menu and everybody making fun of him. And then it's like, I'm surprised, honestly, because there have been people who are like, heel versus babyface was actually right about Starfield all along. He was vindicated by history. That being the pronouns guy. Where the fuck are the think pieces on? Well, actually, Grums was right about Starfield all along. It turns out the 70 million people that made fun of him for saying that Starfield would be bad based on the main menu were wrong. Where's that historical revisionism? Hey, Pat, are you watching the World Cup? No, I don't watch soccer. I don't understand the appeal of watching soccer. It's just like they're just kicking a ball around and then like pretending to get hurt so that the other team gets flagged. It's like we have a very impolite word that involves a slur for that in the Space Station 13 community, but it's rules that. But yeah, I don't know. It just seems like a very lame sport. Like, I know baseball's not exciting, but at least like there's enough rules that you can pay attention to the game and see where it's going. And I don't even watch baseball.
I don't have time to watch sports, honestly. If I was gonna watch something, though, it would be hockey.
I gotta keep up with the legal drama of the Lego story.
I'm all for sports where it's fine for the players to take off their gloves and just like beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
That's what
Speaking
I want. Speaking
of, I think, what's today? In 2 days, they're going to be hosting a UFC match at the White House on the front line.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun. That's going to be a shit show.
See, I'm not really that into like UFC or anything like that. I want to see.
It's a dumb.
I want to see fights. I want to see fights that are spur of the moment, just like crimes of passion type.
Baseball
thing.
used to have that, and it was fun with baseball because everybody had bats and helmets. And...
Well, I've seen some crazy videos of like dudes getting run over with skates on the ice and like they're just bleeding everywhere and shit like that.
Oh well, hockey's there's that infamous video of that guy dying.
Yeah.
No, did you watch the CoffeeZilla video about the bricks and minifigs thing?
I did not see CoffeeZilla's thing.
Yeah, he dropped 50 minutes and he's interviewing. He talks to Ben for like 2 minutes. Most of the video is just him going back and forth between the different legal parties and being like, basically like trying to suss out what had happened in regards to like the ownership shift. And it's just it's really funny because those that fucking guy with the mustache is so stupid.
Oh my god.
Bro,
he's the CEO.
He's the CEO. And he has the lolcow gene.
Good god. I mean it when I saw his face, I'm like, everything that I've heard about like what they're doing and stuff makes sense now. Like this guy is just clueless.
No eyebrows. No eyebrows. Twirled mustache with a soul patch. So apparently he sued, he and his brother, they're both at that company, and they sued their dad to get ownership of a company their dad owned.
Oh.
So just a bit of background lore about who these guys are, and it was like a tax prepping company or something.
Oh, okay. That we're dealing with really good people here. Did you see the news that Ben has a gag order, so he like literally can't talk about this anymore? Which I'm surprised he was surprised that was. Well,
it is surprising because temporary restraining orders for speech are not very popular in courts. It's really only going through because it's a Utah court, so the Mormon mafia is in full effect. Which that's a funny part of the discourse, the denial that that's what's happening.
Yeah.
But it's like, if these guys were Hasidic Jews, there would be no denial that like, oh yeah, of course it's a you know,
Oh yeah.
Jewish business owners being protected by Jewish police with a gag order from a Jewish judge. Yeah, you wouldn't have any problems making the connections if that was the story. But because it's the equivalent thing, but with white people, even though they're Christian heretics, you're still gonna say, well, maybe there is fairness of the law, and it's like, no, anybody that lives like west of the Rocky Mountains knows that Mormons are fuckers. They do shit like this, and then they run home to Utah if they ever get in trouble. Like, this is their MO. Is it hard to read playing 360 on CRT? I heard that complaint a lot back in the day. It's hard right now, but only because of the way it's set up to have two screens, where it's printing 16:9 on a 4:3 screen. If there is a piece of hardware I can add to this that converts that 16:9 signal to 4:3 somehow, even if it's just like cutting off the edges, that's fine as long as the like scaling on the screen is correct. Or even if it puts 4:3 onto the big OLED screen with margins, I can accept that too. Are you really saying that white people are more privileged and American than Jews? LOL. Well, so like,
Hello?
hello? We're talking about Jews here. Did you get dropped?
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, Discord did a thing.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, you were
Yeah.
a little quiet. We're talking about Jewish people. No, like
Ah.
out there, you've got the guys in Jersey who are invested in everything, and out west, you have the Mormons who are invested in everything. And it's like they're an insular tribe that has a lot of money that invests in enterprises all across the West Coast. Like half of Vegas is owned by Mormons.
That's surprising. The city of sin.
Yeah, I mean, they had to have a conference to stop calling people Gentiles if they weren't Mormons. I didn't know there was a thing here. Which that's how you know fucking like Chris Avellone knows ball when Joshua Graham is calling the player a Gentile. I'm like, ooh, okay. He's got that down. Nothing else is really accurate, but Well, I guess the new Canaanites being businessmen that are invested in other parts of the wasteland, that part's accurate to Mormons too. We used to go to war with Mormons.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting hearing like all this stuff 'cause on the East Coast. It's like obviously we don't know
You
any
guys
like
killed all of your Mormons centuries ago.
yeah, yeah, they got chased off. They got chased
Out of New
out of
York.
upstate New York. Yeah.
I think if I remember right, Joseph Smith started in New York City, and then like he went to upstate
Yeah.
to start his first commune. They got chased out. I forget where they went, but they eventually came to Missouri, and Missouri declared, like, the governor just declared war on them.
Yeah.
And like nobody ever contested if that was like a legal thing to do. Like, can you just declare war on American citizens as a state? Apparently you can, because nobody contested it. Then they went to Utah, and then Buchanan sent the U.S. Army to Utah to like talk to the Mormons, and the Mormons like attacked the U.S. Army, would like try to ambush them to prevent them from reaching Salt Lake City, because the Mormons thought that they were like being invaded.
Yeah.
That was another Mormon war. Also, Graham was written by Sawyer. Yeah, Honest Hearts is such a disappointing DLC. Because New Vegas has like 3 banger DLCs and then it has Honest Hearts. And it's like, it's got the
Yeah.
start of some interesting stuff with like the survivalist journals, and like Graham's premise is interesting. He's a cool character, but it really just doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So like if it was a bit more accurate in regards to like Mormonism, exploring that as like a cultural thing, because like that is tied to the heart of this region. Like when I reached Utah and arrived in St. George, it was extremely different culturally compared to the towns that were in Nevada. Like it's stark the difference a few miles makes in this part of the world.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I should do my bit. Hang on. You see this, chat? You see this monorail? I was telling Private about this. So this is the monorail. Everybody kind of who's played New Vegas knows it goes from Camp McCarran to the Strip, right? So, funny thing, it doesn't exist in real life. There is a monorail. It does not connect to the airport. And what's interesting is that Camp McCarran is where Harry S. Reid is. They renamed it in like 2021.
Yeah.
So McCarran International was on the Las Vegas Boulevard, and we'll see. Here's the fabulous New Vegas or fabulous Las Vegas sign. That's like right in front of the airport. The reason that sign's famous is because when you take a cab, you know, you go like around a block and you go around the south side of the airport and then go north up the Strip, you're going to see this sign. Okay? The Strip's right there. On the other side of this fence is the NCR embassy.
I'm going to be right back. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Okay. So in real life, this is how close these are. This is not a scaling thing. The airport is literally right next to the Strip in real life. But in real life, they never connected the monorail that starts at the MGM to the airport, even though they're right next to each other. That was like a planned expansion at one time or another, but it just never really saw the light of day. Now, I need an NCR uniform because I want to take the I actually do want to take the monorail. Actually, you can do it without the uniform. Let's take the monorail in. The weird part about it is, here's a fun fact: the distance between the airport and the MGM rail station is less than the distance between the Washington Monument and the Lincoln Memorial, and that's in one loading space in Fallout 3. Just to give you a perspective of like how close these places are. It's kind of incompetent on Las Vegas's part that the airport's not connected to their transit system, but that gets into like an interesting history where Las Vegas really didn't want to have a transit system. It was like the idea of 2 casinos that they were like, let's connect our casinos together with like the monorail cars from Disney World. And then that just like one of those casinos went out of business, and then they were like, well, we can actually expand it. But the funniest part is that the only other monorail station that is in the game is one that does not exist in real life. Are the New Vegas DLC underrated and New Vegas game overrated? No. No to both of those. I don't know. I mean, like, the only one I would agree is Dead Money, but it's not that it's underrated, it's just overhated. Where's the monorail?
Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter.
You said nuclear, huh? Yeah, anything that is lighting is going to have a advantage in on a CRT. I hope I'm going the right way. Which is the one that does not exist? It's they call it Las Vegas Boulevard Station. But the problem is the monorail never goes to Las Vegas Boulevard. It's tucked away on a side street that runs parallel to Las Vegas Boulevard. And like this is something that residents, like townies in Vegas, make fun of, is that they are kind of embarrassed that they even have public transit because like they're very car centric in Vegas. So they have it like hidden in such a way that it exists and you can go from the casinos to the expo center, kind of. But you can't, there's no actual connection to Las Vegas Boulevard on the monorail. Okay, I kind of thought it was this way. Yeah, it's like there's a sign at the airport that says there's a monorail. So that shoots down my theory that the NCR must have done the expansion.
Sorry, no. I got you now.
Well, I mean, I was going to... There is cleaner tech you can use. You can wait until the shift change. And the guards go away for a little bit and you can get on the monorail that way. Or you can use the disguise, or you can have Boone as a companion. It is an interesting little gameplay challenge. But yeah. Take the monorail to the strip.
Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for nuclear winter.
I bet it feels real nice to be carrying those weapons around on the strip. That damn Mr. House has forbid any NCR military personnel from carrying any sort of firearms on the strip. Well, except for Captain Pappas. Mr. House still doesn't trust the NCR. A word of advice. The Securitrons won't put up with any funny stuff out there, so don't do anything stupid. This your first time on the strip? Okay then, you should know the rules. Just stay out of trouble.
Why is this random trooper like... I get the advice, but why is he like dressing me down like he's a guard? But yeah, so this is... This is once it loads. So it is a hard drive. Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Howdy, partner.
You'll see Las Vegas Boulevard Station. So this is Las Vegas Boulevard, obviously, because the Stratosphere is on it. The monorail doesn't come here. It's like, if I can represent it in, if the monorail was accurate, it would go to, can I move this around? Okay, it would go to like this street. And it deposits in a casino, but it's a casino on a back street, and you have to go over a couple blocks to reach the street, this Las Vegas Boulevard, where the Strat is. So it's very strange because there's only one stop on the station. There's two stations, and neither of them exist in real life. It connects to the airport, and it connects to Las Vegas Boulevard, and both of those are places that famously the monorail does not go. Why do they even allow guns outside it if none of the casinos allow guns? Because... I don't know, just because. It is Vegas. If the Second Amendment wasn't such a widely allowed thing in most of the United States, Vegas actually has a lot of like gun ranges and stuff, and so there's a lot of people who go there just to like, if they're not there for like shows or sex tourism or drugs, they will go and like shoot guns at the gun range. in all actuality, is for gameplay. Because like the gun confiscation thing is buggy enough as it is. I don't know if you guys know this. I ran into this issue. If you give your companion guns, they will get confiscated and not given back when you go to leave. So you can accidentally delete weapons from the game that way. Mr. House is pro Second Amendment. He's a defense contractor. Of course he is. Actually, that's not necessarily a given, but all right. Oh, the ladies are in the water fountain today. Would I get in trouble if I showed the prostitute with the with her breasts out? Her nipples are covered up, so surely that's fine.
Alright, ladies, show's over. Alright, girls, show's over. Wanna dance?
Won't the companion's gun be in the casino safe? It depends on how they're confiscating weapons from the companions. It's possible. I didn't check, but it just makes having like arming the companions more annoying.
I am back.
Welcome back. We're watching.
I saw. Yeah, I see. I saw some interesting news. Microsoft is considering spinning off Xbox into its own, like, company. They would still own it. But
Isn't that
it would
already
be-
the?
No, they're literally a subdivision of Microsoft. So, like, you know how they own, like, GitHub, right?
Yeah.
And, like, all of these, yeah. So they're, they're separate entities and stuff. They're just owned by Microsoft, and that's basically what they're looking to do with Xbox now. They're considering a bunch of different options, and the reason they would structure it that way is they can sell that off.
Fallout 3 could never.
And they're also talking about doing spin-off titles for Bethesda games. Like Satya Nadella.
Who's talking about that?
Yeah.
What do they realize that AI isn't going to be a thing, and then they're like, well, what haven't we burned down?
He said, and Asha Sharma backed it up, that they haven't been investing into the right IPs, and that they want to put money into those IPs, which basically is like, yeah, they want to make more spin-off titles and things like that.
I mean, like, to me, that was always what made sense. The way
Of
forward,
course.
the way forward for that makes everybody happy is, sure, you make Tez 6 the boring fucking like normie friendly casual baby game, and then you
Yeah.
make, Elder Scrolls Adventures Morrowind 2. You don't have to call it Morrowind 2, but you make the Morrowind
Yeah.
successor a spin-off title, and you give it a smaller budget. And
Yeah, exactly.
But then you can share assets and resources and stuff and move developers around as you want to develop this small title while keeping the budget
could even-
relatively low. And then that way it doesn't need to sell 30 million copies to be successful. It can just sell to specifically the Morrowind audience.
You could probably even like get away with doing an early access release if the budget's small enough and stuff and the team's small enough.
Yeah, so like that is
Which
honestly
just,
the way to go when you have Microsoft's problem of they have multiple audiences per franchise. It's the same thing with Halo, right?
Yeah.
If you have Bungie era fans and then 343 era fans, instead of making campaign evolved that like has these permutations to try to make it accessible to both, and then like so it's really not going to be appealing to either, just make the shitty fucking 343 games their own thing and then make like side titles that are more like the old Halo games.
Yeah. I mean, you look at Warhammer as a franchise and stuff, and just like the sheer breadth of like different genres that that franchise goes into. And then within those genres there are multiple games that are just Warhammer, and it's like there's something for everyone in that with Warhammer pretty much.
No, we need to put all of our money. We need to spend $500 million developing Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
This is the future.
It's like a content creator who is just like fixated on just that one viral hit. I just need that one viral hit, and it's like if you just, you know, took that time and effort and stuff and made a bunch of smaller videos, and your incremental viewership would probably be greater than the viral hit. But sure, you can go that route, I guess.
I think the big problem with that strategy is that they're going to realize how much damage Spencer and Co. did and how much it's going to take to fix that damage.
Well, yeah, that's what I said in my Outer Worlds video, where it's like this idea of the Xbox turnaround is dependent upon all of their studios making their own turnarounds, because like so many of them are just like utterly fucked at this point. You know, they've been hollowed out creatively for over a decade now, forced to just make slop and, you know, just like shovelware and all this other crap. And it's like, do you even have enough chefs in the kitchen at this point to, you know, get the restaurant back on track? Like, I don't even know at this point, especially when they're talking about massive layoffs and everything. And the last bit of news that I saw was that Compulsion Games, the people who made South of Midnight, yeah, apparently they're probably about to get shut down. Like, that's one of the studios that's probably going to be facing a ton of layoffs because South of Midnight didn't sell well.
One of Microsoft's problems under Spencer was that Spencer would just lie and say like, yeah, this game sold well, we're not going to close down the studio. And then like randomly one day you'd get news that they closed down the studio, and it's like, so that catches a bunch of people off guard, and it's like, no, you were supposed to sift through what Spencer was saying to find out if he was being truthful or not.
And to be honest, like a lot of the time when the public was hearing about it, that was the first time the people, you know, the studio people or the developers and stuff were hearing about it too. So it's like, what does that do to morale then in those studios? Because that's again another elephant in the room you have to fucking kind of have to contend with here. Is that not only do you have 10 years of like hollowing them out creatively and stuff, but like the people who are left there, there's why, you know, why put your heart and soul into making something if you're probably just going to get shut down?
Yeah, I was well, I mean, I made that comment about problematic era Blizzard when it was going on was how much are you really going to care that like you could get canceled if you're working at Blizzard and like you could be successful and still like get laid off anyways, just for like profit seeking.
I mean, we saw that with what Andy was talking to us about when we were doing our mock through, about the team that made up 343 to make Halo 4 and everything. And most of the people who were hopping on board were just like, yeah, this is just resume padding. Like, this is nothing more than a stepping stone to get somewhere else in the industry. And it's like, that's the type of mentality you end up breeding in an environment like this, where it's just like everybody's disposable. There's no, we're not trying to make something here that's going to last. we're just here to make something that we're just trying to make an artificial hit, and that's it.
What even was the strategy for Spencer? Just stay employed as long as possible. That's literally all
Keep the
Game
grip.
Pass does to do is it just delays how long it becomes obvious for the investors that Halo Infinite was a failure. If they can say like, well, Starfield was a commercial failure. It didn't sell enough copies to pay for the budget, but it did have 11 million players on Game Pass. So if you think about it, if those Game Pass subscribers never cancel their subscription for the next 10 years, then we'll have made a profit. That entire grift is literally just how can we get away with fucking up this badly? Because Spencer's whole problem was that over the course of his reign at Xbox, he took a company that could make games that sold and turned it into a company that didn't sell games.
Yes.
Let alone the fucking woes of the Xbox.
Yeah. They're apparently selling the consoles at a loss right now because of cost for memory and everything like that. And it's like they're already having issues selling the console at the current price point. So how the fuck are you going to raise the price again to make it break even? Like they're getting fucked in every direction right now.
Yeah, well, and also in the past, consoles have been loss leaders for companies, but they were ways to get you into the ecosystem. That's not even going on. That's not even the strategy. Because we're going multi-platform with mostly everything. And so it's like, what are you buying a Series X for? To play Gears of War E-Day?
And what ecosystem? The Windows ecosystem that everybody's already a part of? It's saturated. It's completely saturated. So if you have all the people and you still can't make a profit, obviously your business model is just fundamentally broken.
We'll get the people who don't buy games anyways with a cheaper subscription. Yeah, but at the end of the day, the problem with Game Pass, at least in 2023, the way it was priced, if you played more than 2 games a year, Microsoft lost money. 2 games in 12 months, and they're at a loss. So it's like, yeah, of course they have to raise the price.
Oh yeah. I forget who it was. One of the Microsoft executives came out though and said, like, I think it was Matt Booty actually. He said they were losing, like, they've lost millions of subscribers since that price hike. When was that? That was like about a year ago now, right?
Yeah. When everybody started canceling.
Yeah.
When so many people started canceling that their site went down.
Yeah.
Because it was overwhelmed from the traffic.
Yeah. Which I always in my I think it was the Outer Worlds 2 video, I said that, but I was kind of on the fence on whether it was that or if Microsoft actually pulled the plug on the web page so that people couldn't cancel. Just, give them a few days to cool down. They'll come to realize the true value of Game Pass. But no, they lost, like, literally, Matt Booty said, millions of subscribers. And considering they only had, like 31 million to start with, that had to have been a very significant impact.
And I think there was a point where they said they needed like 100 million for it to be a solvent business model.
Yes. So, yeah, that's probably why Spencer and Bond got fired. That was probably the straw that broke the camel's back there.
Uh-oh.
Apparently, the price cut that they did recently has been getting more people to sign up again. and that it's stabilizing, but you know now it's Matt Booty who has to try and save his job.
Hmm.
So
They
I'm not
realize they have to
very
go back to being a company that sells games that people want to buy. And that's a really tough
yeah.
ask after years of Microsoft being a company that sells games that people don't want to own. Like literally the business model was, well, oh man, of course I don't have the fucking pre-order DLC that starts you with anti-venom. Of course. I have the 3 others. I don't even know why I have 3 different fucking pre-order DLC packs. It's a good thing these enemies that fly can't actually pathfind. Otherwise, they'd be even
Price
scarier.
price cut, lol. Yeah, no, the funny thing is it's like the price is still higher than when they it's still higher than it was last year. But you know it has changed since last year. Inflation at like 4.5%. Gas prices through the roof. Beef prices through the roof.
Hey, gas is going down again.
Yeah, okay.
It is. It's down like 40 cents here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you might not feel it.
Wait,
You're priced in.
wait for another missile strike. Was that before or after the Black Hawk got shot down?
Hmm. Yeah, just wait for Israel to like go. By the way, we're not under ceasefire. LOL.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so that's going on. So Xbox, like Microsoft's on the losing side here when you have like Walmart and all of these like big box companies being like, all right, we're gonna like aggressively cut prices on stuff right now because people are hurting. So it's like, no, you guys don't need to. You don't need to knock it down $3. You need to knock it down below $20 again, like $20 a month for people to actually start signing up again. But also, yeah, you guys just need games. Like,
Well, you know, the great way to insulate yourself against the fluctuations of the price of gas is
I've
yeah,
been playing I've been playing State of Decay, uh, and that game relies heavily on you like driving vehicles around and stuff. And I was just floating an idea of like they should have a character whose trait is that they
oh.
cannot drive a vehicle, like they don't have a driver's license, so they have to like walk everywhere. But that gives them a huge boost to their cardio stat.
That would be fun.
Oh no. That's
Oh fuck, there's 2.
Did you go into the middle of the fucking map? Is that what's going on here?
This is north of Lake Mead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that area is pretty fucky. You know why 7 Days to Die ranks higher than State of Decay in my book? Because 7 Days to Die has a bicycle. And it's the first vehicle you'll unlock.
More games need bikes. Someone just needs to keep innovating until they find a fun way to find a way to make riding a bike fun. GTA 5 actually has a like decent bike.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know if anybody saw that. So remember on the Fallout stream when there was that rad roach and I was like point blanking missing it, even though like my crosshair was dead on. So I just crippled this guy's left leg when the crosshair wasn't anywhere near him because of the random bullet spread. So I don't want to hear that, like, oh, you're bad because you're missing your point blank shots. No, the random bullet spread just does that.
But now you have a friend. Now you have a pet. Oh, speaking of pets, you can have a pet.
Pet
What the fuck are
Deathclaw.
these things? Deathclaw. Yeah, Deathclaws in Fallout 76 now.
It's amazing how much killing these things got easier with time. No, come on.
This is the equivalence of shooting the arms off of the combat flood in
Yeah, it'll be
in
interesting
Halo.
to see if that's in the campaign evolved. We need what's a funny name for campaign evolved? Because I like Reblivion, but you know they named it that way so that they can get the SEO traction from people looking up Halo CE.
Yeah.
So we need a name for it that is not that. You know, the generic
Halo Com Edition.
the generic thing is always like Halo 2026. That's the usual way to deal with it.
Halo developed by Virtuous.
It's got to be short and spiky. Campaign devolved. There you go. You nailed it. You nailed it, Chatter.
I was thinking that, but I was like, I don't know, that sounds a bit too
It's too easy.
obvious. Yeah.
I'm gonna throw spears at it until it dies. I got Gunrunner's Arsenal challenge progress for doing that. Bugthestards. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. Yeah, we were talking about is there a Bethesda hating community? Yeah, of course. The people who came up with the term Bugthestard. I think they might not be the biggest fans. CE make. There you go. Because it seems like it's C make. I like the gecko enemies in New Vegas. They're goofy. And they're authentic. I saw a gecko when I was in the area, and they really do that. Other than being massive, of course.
They really do run on two legs like that?
Yeah. They just like get so excited to run that they go bipedal for their sprints. Has anyone ever made a good video about persistence hunting? I swear it's all slop.
Persistence hunting?
Yeah, do you know what that is?
No, I don't.
It's where prehistoric human tribes would hunt by just running after an animal and use the fact that our endurance is super busted to
Yeah.
exhaust animals to death.
Yeah. Yeah, people think humans being the apex predator is a modern thing, but they underestimate the superpower that is sweating.
Yeah, our strategy's been busted for a while.
Like humans were really fucking OP for hundreds of thousands of years.
Well, there's tribes that'll just be like a dozen people go up to a lion pride that have food and like just take it from them because and it's like sure the lions would win, but they don't want to throw down with a dozen animals. Of course, I think lions are on fraud watch because they lose to hyenas. I know hyenas are big, but like, come on.
Yeah, I've seen people on safaris where they go and they just go pet the lions. I don't buy it. I don't buy that king of the jungle nonsense.
Every fucking like paleontology video has to have the mandatory climate change section. I saw one video and I was like skipping forward like every 30 seconds because they would just throw in another guys please subscribe and then the next one would be like 87% of you are not subscribed, and then the next like there were just tons of like segments in the middle of the video that would be like 10 seconds long, so like half the time I wouldn't even get to skip forward before it was over.
That had to be like some AI generated shit. Like I refuse to believe that there's a cognizant human being that is that clueless.
This is the visual equivalent of how I felt north of Lake Mead. It doesn't quite look like this, but it feels like this. Holy fuck. So it's weird. When I'm in the video editor and I'm looking at footage of New Vegas, I'm like, oh yeah, no, this game really doesn't look that... Like, I think the color filtering in New Vegas is actually worse than 3. But then, like, playing it, I feel like I'm...
Mm-hmm.
When I play New Vegas, I feel like I'm playing a game. And when I play Fallout 3, I feel like I'm, like, color calibrating my TV.
The Mormon God is on that mountain there.
I think that's just God. I find it super annoying when they bring up their statistics mid-video. Can we go back in time and stone whoever fucking came up with... Guys, 87% of you are not subscribed. Like, whoever was the first to start doing that.
Then you have me, where it's like, I haven't even looked at my dashboard in, like, 2 months.
Yeah, well, it is partially YouTube's fault for, like, prominently giving YouTubers that information. You could always figure it out. But they made it, like, its own dedicated pane. That's why it looks the same, is that it's literally just, like... One of the first things you see in the analytics dashboard now is the ratio of people, your viewers, the ones who are subscribed and not subscribed. And so, like, that's why it was a thing. It's gone away with time, probably because everybody points out that it's annoying as fuck to interrupt the video. If you are already subscribed to the person, it's super annoying to be like,
yes,
a percentage of you are not subscribed, and it's like, don't fucking bother me with it.
It gives me that same feeling that my teachers would give me in, like, school, where they'd be yelling at the class, but then they'd interrupt themselves and be like, but some of you weren't doing that, so this doesn't apply to you. It's like, yeah, but why am I still fucking sitting here listening to it then?
Yeah.
I hated that shit.
Oh man, that reminds... I was thinking about this story yesterday. Sorry, I was thinking about the nature of gendered insults, and I was like, no, I use gendered insults on men too. And the example is, I had a boss, and we called him Big Dick Nick. And the reason we called him that was we had this new guy at work, and he was like an Army veteran, but like a well-adjusted Army veteran, so like not rattled with PTSD. And he was a landlord of 2 properties, and he was very well-to-do, and he was like, he seemed like a good hard worker, and you know, he's there at this job. Half the people at this job were there either for like they desperately needed money, or they were like doing it part-time for like hobby money. There was no in
Yeah.
between there.
Yeah.
So this was a hobby money guy. And I was like, okay, this is a good addition to the team. You know, he won't be lazy. And then like his first day, the boss, Big Dick Nick, comes to work and calls everybody into the meeting room to yell at us for 30 minutes about how lazy we are. And this guy
Nice.
would chronically sit in the office and play like some Marvel game on his phone, just like some dog shit mobile game, and not do anything. And so like this guy who would have been an amazing addition to the team's first impression of the job was getting yelled at by this guy for 30 minutes, and so he just like didn't come to work the next day, and like that was that was it for that guy. And so
Yep.
like afterwards, that he earned the honorific Big Dick Nick, because he walked into that meeting and slapped his dick on the table and told us what was what.
Yep. And that's why you're supposed to get rid of those guys, because issues like that. That was like kind of my, I wouldn't say alma mater, but it was the topic I got really interested in college was counterproductive organizational behavior, which is the study of how companies fuck up.
Right.
And that is just like, that is textbook right there. And the thing too is like, if I'm assuming he's more like a line manager than an executive.
Yeah.
But it's like, if he's behaving like that, then you know his bosses are worse, because it always comes from the top.
Yeah, that was a fun work environment.
And you know what? And that's how you know that that guy who didn't show up the second day was going to be a really good worker, because he handled that like an adult, which was just leave. Like, I don't owe these people anything. I don't need to show up for this. I don't need this in my life. I'm just going to not show up and go find something else. And it's just like, you really lost a good one there. See, because like, if he made it into like a whole big drama thing and stuff and then left, it's like, all right, he was probably going to be a piece of shit. But just the fact that he just didn't show up second day, it's just like, yeah, he was a rational human being.
Yeah, that job was nice, except for I didn't like the management.
Mm-hmm.
I would do that job to this day.
See, I had the opposite, where I really didn't like the job, but I liked the management. You want to talk about dysfunctional, but they were dysfunctional in a great way, because they were like, we were lazy and they were even lazier, and they just did not give a fuck. It was kind of like, because it was a family-owned business, and literally nobody gave a shit except for the owner. Like, his brothers were all like managers and stuff like that. They didn't give a fuck. They just blew smoke up their brother's ass, and when he was out of the room, they're just like, yeah, everybody can do whatever the fuck they want. Like, I don't give a shit. I'm going home early now. Like, that was, yeah. So it's like, you could get away with anything there except for stealing. That was the one thing. Don't steal, and don't sexually harass other people. Those are the only two things that people ever got fired for. You could do like jack shit, and it didn't matter.
Yes, we were dysfunctional because we had people we couldn't get rid of. Like,
Yeah, we had that issue too.
It was just impossible
were
to get some people
union.
fired.
Well, we were unionized, so it was like,
Yeah, we weren't even
yeah.
unionized. Like,
What?
people would just like be the worst employees, and we would just be like saddled with them forever. We would have to wait until the only thing people got fired for was like drug offenses, and like not showing up to work. And that was
Really?
that was the go-to.
We actually had that issue too with people who would show up like high and stuff. We couldn't fire them though, because that would be in violation of New York State health laws, health privacy laws and stuff like that, because they consider that to be a sickness, like addiction, substance abuse is a sickness. So
Yeah.
it's like you cannot discriminate somebody because they are sick, because they have like a disability or an illness or something like that. So you would have to wait for the guy who is using PCP and stuff to whip out his cock in the back room and start jerking off, which is what happened to one guy. Then he got fired and went to prison.
For
yeah,
that,
that was
or
kind of-
unrelated?
I think that was part of the charges.
I had a coworker who one day the police came and arrested him, CP on his computer.
Oh, nice. We had a we had a guy in our department. He was a pretty good worker too, and one day he stopped showing up, and my manager's like, "Where is he?" And then 2 days later, his parole officer shows up. We didn't know he was on parole. We didn't know he had a parole officer. And he's like, "Have you seen this man?" We're like, "We haven't seen him in a few days." He's like, "Yeah, he hasn't shown up to his parole hearing. We have a warrant out for his arrest now. If he makes contact with you, whatever, please notify us." We're like, "What the fuck?"
Morning. Never gets
But then it kind of retroactively made some of our discussions with him make a lot more sense. Like we were talking about, I forget how we even got talking about like getting into fist fights and stuff. He's like, "Yeah, I know like all sorts of crazy shit, like all sorts of crazy Brazilian jujitsu, like all that shit." He's like, "I know like all those things." Like, okay. Never figured out what happened with that, but
okay.
and we've had so many employees get taken out in handcuffs. Like that wasn't
So, I want to point out something. So, there's this big power line in the south of Vegas, and it doesn't really stand out because it seems like it's on the edge of the city. So it's like, lots of cities at their edge have this type of infrastructure, right? But in real life, Vegas is weird because this just runs through the middle of the city, and then there's more there's more town on the other side, and they just have like high transmission lines running through where the border of the city used to be. That's why I say like New Vegas in the game seemed to have like an alternate history where it just didn't develop as much because it just doesn't build a valley the same way that the real life Vegas had when they were making the game, let alone now.
Yeah.
It's crazy now. But it is very liminal being in this part of Vegas and seeing these like high transmission lines just run through the middle of a city.
Yeah, we have that over here. Nobody wants to own property that abuts high transmission lines. So you can get those houses for like
Don't worry,
a little bit cheaper.
The data center coming to you soon. That's why it's funny seeing all
Jersey for.
That's why it's funny seeing all the like right-wing people that are like, you got to be pro data center. We got to win the war with China. And it's like, but aren't you the same guy that's like scared to live near a high transmission line?
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to build it in my neighborhood.
I know. It's always weird too hearing about where they're building it, and it's just like, why there?
Because that's where the land was. It's just like Venn diagram of like cheap land, agreeable taxes and development code and things like that. Like it's just like all these different things that need to come together for one of these data centers to become like, I guess, profitable.
Well, yeah,
So,
because
yeah,
it's going to be
just, like, out
years
in the
before they
middle of
actually turn a
nowhere.
profit.
Oh yeah.
You like the sight of your own.
Well, okay. Why why would you build it in in like a dense city with like, lots of office workers and stuff when you're going to be hollowing out that workforce?
When you could, we could just build it in the middle of like West Virginia.
Yeah. Well, it's like why pay a premium on that real estate when it's just going to go down because all those people are going to lose jobs and never be able to get jobs again. Like, those cities are just going to collapse.
What's wrong with high
Yeah, might as
transmission
well.
lines next to housing? There is a belief, I don't necessarily know if it's true, that you're at risk for different things if you live near high transmission lines.
The only thing that I've seen that's like any sort of credibility is like you might be more susceptible to getting migraines. That's like, there hasn't been any link between cancers or anything like that. There's just like some tangential correlation with proximity to that and migraines. And it might just have to do with some of those things giving off a constant, like, high frequency hum. In which case it's like, there are like, you know, housing units and stuff that have noisy air conditioners that would also produce the same effect.
Yeah, but they are loud. I've seen videos people have recorded of them being on because they need to run generators to power them because the local area power production hasn't been raised to match their demand. And so, like, they are
the data centers.
Yeah, they're noisy as hell. And
yeah.
I would be pissed if one was like around the corner from me. I'm annoyed when I hear highway noise. If there was just like a constant hum because of a like nearby data center, yeah, of course I'd be annoyed. And it's like, you could have built this like a mile out of town. Like, there's big patches of open fields out in the middle of nowhere. Nobody ever seems to be pro send it to Indiana. Trust me, they can take it. I was thinking
the rising costs of agriculture and stuff, there are a lot of farmers that are just looking to sell their land to data centers and stuff. Either that or turn it into a solar farm.
a lot of those guys hate solar farms. No, it is a funny I had a funny thought that is related to this, which is like the people who say that you need to keep your Down syndrome baby and not abort it. They should be forced to adopt the Down syndrome babies. Just a weird, like, little bit of frontier justice, if you would.
Well, I don't have to worry about this issue because I'll never have kids because I'm afraid that they'll make climate change worse.
Yeah. Actually,
or even worse, God forbid, they become a conservative.
Are you referencing that guy?
Yeah.
There's like that his name is Anti Shui something.
I don't even remember.
He like specialized in, why is the sky red? The sky is bleeding. He like specialized in like documentaries about the Civil War and like, oh wait, is it? I'm sorry, there was blood on my eyes. I was like, am I seeing the angels descend? Yeah, there was just like random parts of the sky that were red. It was weird because it didn't move around with the screen.
Yeah, I saw that.
So it looked like there was just like,
I didn't know that
giant red clouds. That has to be a bug. That's not how it is on PC, I don't think. Never seen that.
There was an Oblivion gate that was opening nearby.
Yeah, it was like fucking end of Evangelion. Had to turn into Tang.
I got that song stuck in my head.
But yeah, that guy's like, I don't want to have children because I don't want to risk that they will contribute to the climate change problem. And if they're white, they will be likelier to perpetuate injustice. And I'm just like, holy shit, this guy needs to be institutionalized.
Yeah.
Like, he is severely mentally ill.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, he started it off too because it wasn't even like, oh, I'm not gonna have kids. It was, I get angry when my friends say they're having kids because of this.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's
how
not even
could you?
it's not
How
even like
could
I'm
you?
I'm making the decision for myself. I'm upset with other people who make the
Yeah.
decision.
Yeah.
And it's just like, holy fuck, like
Yeah. That guy.
he has
He
another
needs.
clip where he was saying like
He needs to.
if I
He
could go
he
back
needs.
in time, I would go back to the East Coast before the colonizers arrived and start like teaching the Native Americans like advanced technology so that they can slaughter all of the settlers and like wipe out every single white person on the continent.
Nice.
And I'm
That
just like, ooh.
isn't that the basis of Honest Hearts?
No, see, the white people are the saviors in Honest Hearts. Oh yeah, no, you're right. He's just Joshua Graham
Yeah.
killing the white legs.
He doesn't see the hypocrisy in that statement though.
No, he's like, I need to save this culture. So like he's not looking at like he doesn't.
I need to destroy this culture to save this culture is
Yeah.
basically it.
I like, okay, there's having a distaste for what happened, and then there's whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah. That is, you need to go to one of those specialists who one of those experts who specialize in like doing reverse brainwashing because it's like you are in way too deep at that point.
Well, like I think that's just delusional psychosis at that point.
Yeah.
Which it's
Yeah.
like, it was crazy because when I was in school, they were writing papers about like climate change language needs to be escalated so that it's scarier for kids. And I'm like, so you just want to like cause people to go be psychotic.
Yeah, you want to traumatize an entire generation.
Yeah, it's just like, it's honestly crazy because sometimes I watch videos about like unethical like 60s eras experiments. I actually write about this when I talk about vaults. I'm like, it's an interesting thing to have as a theme of Fallout that Bethesda has added, it's in Fallout 2, but like it's very basic experimentation. Like Fallout 3 definitely switched the tone to like be a bit more like what happens if we just spike the water with LSD in a college frat, that type of experiment. And it's like obviously unethical stuff, like stuff that we look at today and be like, oh yeah, those guys were kind of evil, right? But they still do the same stuff. The same people still work in academia. It's just now they do stuff like propose purposefully spreading Lyme disease so that everybody's forced to become vegan, or like
or just like altering people's like algorithms and stuff to just force feed them negative content just to see how they react, like shit like that.
Yeah, or just like trying to scare people toward purposely trying to scare people towards a political end.
Yeah, the reptilians are real, man. I don't know how many times I have to tell people this, but the skinwalkers are among us. I just had a thought. Imagine if the aliens like encountered our culture, encountered our planet, and they're just like, "Fuck, ever releasing that into the galaxy. We need to contain these fucking crazy ass monkeys."
That's just an
to
average
this
Star
one
Trek
planet.
take. But the average Star Trek fan thinks that that's how it works.
They're just like, Like we are actually quarantined. We didn't realize. Like we cannot know it.
Yeah, it's messianic thinking to think that, you know, the same way that you think that like Jesus the Redeemer is going to come and herald the end times and cast all of the sinners into hell. That same line of thinking is also the aliens are going to show up and actually they're benevolent and they're going to either uplift or judge humanity for our sins. You know, that's literally the same thing. It's just you're changing the party that's doing the judgment.
Atheism really is a religion.
Yeah, man, that's a fucking like, that is a like 20-year-old take on the internet of atheist people. They just replace God. They have their secular gods that they replace them with. And
Yeah.
it's true to a degree among like the dumb atheists. They're obviously engaging in the same patterns of behavior, just with a different line of thinking, and it's because they probably grew up in a Christian environment, and so their instincts are still to think and like even most atheists model their morality on Christianity, at least in the West, because that's the model for morality that exists. But there is
So
a
what you're saying is, the true atheists are the ones who are also polyamorous.
Well, listen, there's this group called the Mormons.
No. Now the real question is, if the aliens came, they were looking for specimens for their zoo, would you be down to be the specimen?
I'd be down to be the breeding stock. I wanted to be the bull in those videos of when like there's a herd of cows, and then they release the bull among them.
We want to see the human in their natural environment. Oh, cool. Just put me in a room with a computer that I can just play video games all day, every day. And feed me junk food. This sounds awesome.
And then,
sign me up.
Then they're going to put you in your natural environment, and you're going to be, like, naked in the savannah. They're like, you better get a fire started before nightfall. You're going to be on some first night of Minecraft shit in real life. Oh, okay. It struggled there for a second, but it survived.
It was contemplating crashing.
Pro tip, use VATS and then exit VATS and immediately pull the trigger. Even if you don't use action points, the game is still aiming for you.
Now this is gameplay. This is the meta.
Which do you prefer, going through the Mojave or going through the like subway tunnels? Like as an experience.
Going through the Mojave, 100%.
Yeah, it's like the subway tunnels are kind of interesting from like a
It's
from like a
interesting.
gameplay perspective, but I think that
It's
the
interesting in the context of Fallout 3.
but I think that
I mean,
there's just more
if I'm
value in
gonna
the roadside ambushes.
if I'm gonna play a game that's crawling through tunnels, like I get to pick, it's gonna be Metro.
Yeah, it's gonna be a game that truly focused on it.
Yeah. Which I actually just bought the trilogy because it was like $7 on Steam.
Yeah, that's something that down the line I will probably be looking at on the CRT because I'm curious about it.
Yeah. Yeah, 'cause that's a game that does a lot of true dark.
I have to wonder if like that was a factor in how it succeeded. You don't like the DC area. I don't. DC's kind of cool. I don't know if I don't know. I've thought before like I wouldn't mind living there beyond the culture.
Yeah.
I'd hate to find out that like my favorite pizza place the reason they were giving me odd looks that I'd come back every week and order the cheese pizza was because they were trafficking children in the basement. But you know, what can you do?
Well, I don't want to live in a town where it's just randomly it will be impossible for me to be able to order DoorDash or
Oh, right.
even get pizza and stuff because the Pentagon is
Yeah, someone was complaining about they live in Manhattan and they were complaining that like Midtown Manhattan was shut down because the president went to a baseball game.
Yeah. Yeah, that happens from time to time. If UN is in session, they shut down like a bunch of shit around there. I mean, that's why you're supposed to live in the outer boroughs.
What if
Or at
Mojave
least like uptown.
What if Mojave but also metro tunnels? The problem is I'm not sure that exists anywhere.
Yeah,
Like
in real life,
the
I
Las Vegas
don't-
area is you would have to I have heard about the Las Vegas sewers and those are in this game. We can go like check those out. But no, Las Vegas is extremely car centric.
Well, yeah. How else is a urban environment supposed to sprawl so quickly? Do you know how long it takes to make a metro system?
Their monorail was kept alive. Its lifespan was extended by 7 years. You want to guess how much money that was?
$2 million.
It was 12 million, but yes, you are correct for guessing an
Jesus.
extremely low amount of money.
For 8 years, $12 million.
And it only happened because they got an NFL team. So they want the monorail to connect to the stadium because
So
you really
where does the
shouldn't build
monorail-
stadiums without public transit connections.
Yeah. Where does the monorail connect to? Like,
All the way south it goes to the MGM casino, and then all the way north it exits near Fremont Street.
okay.
So it's like 4 or 5 miles long.
Oh, all right.
The strip is really big. I'll just say that.
Yeah. Yeah, it is
I was learning a bit about color CRTs, and turn the Pip-Boy light on.
Ooh, yeah, the CRT is very red in this scene.
Yeah, it would be era appropriate for there to be color CRTs in Fallout. Where's Freeside Gate? This is exit. But I didn't actually know how CRTs did color, which is a normal cathode ray tube is an electron gun that shoots that has its beam. It shoots in a straight line, and then its beam is modified through electromagnetism to hit all of the phosphor bulbs. And then a color CRT is just 3 electron guns, and each electron corresponds to a different color. And so that's how it does RGB.
That is, man.
It is a wacky piece of technology.
Fiends don't come here no more, they say.
Like, it is thoroughly a 60s piece of technology. Let's shoot radiation at these incandescent bulbs to light them up. And then it's like, well, you know, we could make like a liquid crystal display that like lights up based on a signal. And it's like, no, we're doing the electron gun. So if I can't get an HD CRT, because I've been looking, it's a challenging idea.
Oh,
I'll have to get a plasma screen.
I've been meaning to tell you, I have a CRT hookup over here.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, my buddy works at a electronics recycling plant.
Oh, okay,
And,
yeah.
he says like they get tons and tons of CRTs like all the time. He's like, yeah, if you want one, you just show up. And
Yeah, it's just getting it back.
yeah, that's what I was telling him.
But it's like, there's actually money to be made from getting a hookup at a electronics recycling center, and then getting those old TVs, and
Well, they
and
have their
selling
own
them.
internal department for that, actually. They have like a whole guy who does like just eBay stuff. So if anything looks interesting, they kick it over to him. He runs through it, does diagnostics and everything. And then they'll usually like do bulk sales of like old processors and stuff. Like you'd show up and be like, I just want to buy like 100 old processors. They'll just give you like a grab bag basically of just like random shit. And it's like odds are you're gonna make a profit off of it.
Kind of insane how much worse than CRTs the first LCD screens were. Awful black levels, huge input lag, etc. Yeah, like the advantage was they were cheap for how big they were.
Yeah. They were cheap, and they also took up less space. So you could have a 50-inch screen, and it's not a 300-pound behemoth.
Yeah, if you moved a lot, it was also advantageous.
Yeah.
Because the largest CRT ever made was 43 inches, and it was like 440 pounds.
Oh my god.
There's an interesting video about it was rescued basically from a building that was going to be demolished. It was in a. It's kind of funny. He got the story on how they even acquired it. So it was a ramen shop in Japan.
Oh.
And so like business executives and stuff would come there after work and hang out. And
shit.
they had like a waiting room that you could hang out in. And they were like, this needs a TV. But it needs to be like a big TV because of the way that the seating is.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
there was a Sony executive who was like, well, we're putting out a 43-inch screen here soon. And it happened to be like the largest CRT ever made. It was like 10 grand when it came out.
Holy crap.
And they were like, sure, that sounds good. And so he got this screen and unknowingly like got this super rare TV. And then a couple years ago, that building eventually got demolished because it was a ramen shop in a ramen factory, I think, is the background. So the factory was going and the shop went with it. And like by coincidence, this YouTuber that was into CRTs, was like interested in the story of this picture of it and was like trying to track down where it was, and just like a few weeks before it was set to be demolished, found out that it was in this place and got it rescued, which was a challenge because he's in the United States. So
Yeah.
they had to involve like a moving company and shipping it through LTL. But it was worth it because it's very cool.
This reminds me of a story that I read earlier this week. This HVAC tech, he was working on a boiler in somebody's basement. The guy used to own like a computer shop, and his basement was just like loaded with all sorts of like rare old technology and stuff. And he found a box, and inside of it was a PC, like a custom built PC, like custom everything, and it had the entire like C-suite team at AMD's signatures on it, like Lisa
Oh.
Su and stuff, because it was a parting gift to the former CEO, Rory something or other. And yeah, this computer shop guy got this thing through auction. The computer was never even like taken out of the box or anything. It was still like wrapped and everything. And yeah, he told the technician, he's just like, hey, you can take whatever you want from my basement. I don't care. Like I just need to get rid of this stuff. So he got his hands on this fucking machine, and it has like all these signatures on it. I'm looking, I'm like, dude, holy crap, what a find.
Yeah, that's
He's like posting on Reddit. He's like, is this thing legit? Like, that's Lisa Sue's signature on
Oh,
there
yeah.
and everything.
that reminded me of part of the video. So he made a fake Facebook account and joined a Facebook group with a picture of his like of this rare TV he had, and he was taking pictures of it. And he like bought a bunch of dog shit like emulation tech that is like infamous in the community for being very bad, and pretended that he was using it. And so he made this post that's like, this TV's cool, where do I get one? And people were like, you're not going to get one. And then he posts a picture with him with it, with like these shitty retro console emulators. And people were just like super pissed off because they were like, why does this poser get this really cool TV? It was a really good bit. Patrician, would you eat sushi off of naked women/men? Sure. Why do you ask questions when you know the answer? You just want me to confirm it? Is it for the record?
Yeah, he needs the voice clip. It's going into the file.
Yeah, the eventual documentary. I guess we're lucky they figured out how to use magnets to bend the beams instead of some motorized system with moving parts. I mean, they were insane. They would have made the technology work regardless.
I was going down a little bit of a rabbit hole last night, reading about nuclear powered submarines and stuff. I'm just like, that still kind of blows my mind that we have like ships and aircraft carriers and submarines and stuff that are running off of nuclear fission. It's just like, how do you even get a reactor to be that small and shit? That was like back in the 50s. Like the first nuclear powered submarine launched in like 1957, I think. 1956, 57. That's what I was reading about. I was like, how the fuck, like,
It was just a different time.
Yeah. I mean, that
You tolerate a little bit of racism. It's amazing what the technology sector can do. I mean, look at Silicon Valley.
Yeah, there's certain shit though where it's just like, I don't know, it just seems like magic to me. I just make videos on the internet, so
I mean, one of the reasons I like making videos is that it is an opportunity to just like learn about stuff and then share what you've learned.
Yeah. Well, okay. So the reason I got into that was because I was reading about the Iron Giant, the movie. So I was like, I forget what I was. Oh, right, because we were talking about Liberty Prime,
Mm-hmm.
and I was thinking, I was gonna make the joke that like, oh, Liberty Prime is a reference to the Iron Giant, and I was like, wait, when did the Iron Giant even come out? So then I was looking, I was like, oh, okay, it was a 1999 film, and I was reading through it and stuff, and then like in it the Iron Giant like runs into the Nautilus, which is the first nuclear powered submarine and stuff. So when I got into that and shit, I'm like, all right, I'm in way too deep at this point. I just wanted to know who owned the rights to the Iron Giant and when the film came out.
Well, you see, the
And
Iron Giant also features in the 2016 seminal film Ready Player One.
oh really? Man, there's a I, has anything been done with that franchise since?
I believe the people who made it are hoping that we just kind of forget about it.
Because that was kind of like the question that was in the back of my mind. I'm like, why hasn't the Iron Giant come back around? Like,
Here we
surely
go.
that's an IP. So then I was looking into it, like who owns it, and of course it's Warner Brothers. It's just like, okay, I guess that explains it, because Warner Brothers is just like it's suicidal. Apparently, they just don't know how to like actually handle their IPs and everything.
Hey guys.
I was surprised how much of the Iron Giant I remembered. Oh, speaking of aliens. Because I only saw the movie like once when I was like really young. I was just like, yeah, doesn't he die at the end of it and all this shit? But he doesn't really die. And so I was like reading through the synopsis, like, holy shit, I remember a lot about this film. Then you have the the Star Wars film that we watched that I can't even remember the title to.
It's a funny film, you know. You should commit it to memory.
Is it? It's not the. It's not the Force Awakens, right? It's Rise
No.
of Skywalker.
No. We didn't get to watch
No.
Rise of Skywalker. I wanted to.
Which one was it?
We watched The Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi. That's right.
Yeah,
I
there
think.
are aliens in New Vegas, but only if you have the Wild Wasteland trait.
Mm-hmm.
And the icon literally shows an alien, so can't even
I
be
do think it's
surprised.
I do think it's an endorsement of how much I'm not a Star Wars fan that you've told me the name of this film probably 10 times now at this point.
Yeah.
That's what we watched. And I still can't get it right.
In fairness, it is a series that has Revenge of the Sith, Return of the Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker as titles.
It they yeah, they're not doing people like me any favors.
Did you see? You're an old man. Did you see Masters of the Universe in theaters?
What?
You
What is
know,
that?
Masters of the Universe, He-Man. There's a new movie.
I
It did. It did.
He-Man is
It did better
He-Man
than
is
Star
before my
Wars.
time. Ooh.
It did better than the
Oh
Mandalorian
boy.
movie.
Oof. Star Wars, listen, Star Wars is going through a bit of a rough. They need three more films. They need another trilogy with Rey.
It just
I'm
seems
telling
like
you,
you.
if they rebooted it in the style of of that movie that we watched, that I've already forgotten the name of.
I think mid combat that alien looted the other alien.
I would watch Star Wars. I would be a fan. It really felt like I was watching an abridged like series on the film. I've watched those like those actual abridged like Star Wars abridged videos on YouTube, and I was like, Oh, no wonder those videos are so funny. It's like the content's already like half there.
Yeah, a lot of the jokes are based on like in humor of how absurd Star
Yeah.
Wars is. In a series with aliens and super mutants. You can't tolerate radiation magic?
Man, it's like I say that, I say I want somebody to make that seriously, but then it's like then people actually do it and it's lame as fuck.
I'm going to use my wish, even though it, like you said, it might turn out lame, on someone actually producing the Starfield parody. Someone said that that bit is pretty similar to Futurama, and I do kind of agree. But I do think it's like distinct enough where you really have to lean into making fun of the performative wokeism of Sarah
Yeah.
Morgan. That's an essential bit that Futurama doesn't have.
I've never watched Futurama, so I wouldn't know.
You should. It'll help you understand the Outer Worlds too. Not even. It would help you understand the Outer Worlds 1. Guys, we need a Starfield movie. Yes, that'll tie everything together.
The only people who would be willing to do that is Paramount. They'd be straight to Paramount Plus.
We are allergic to money enough to adapt Starfield to the big screen. So the fucked up part is it would probably be more successful. From the creators of Fallout.
Who would we get to direct the Starfield movie?
Ryan Johnson. I think he's the obvious choice.
I agree.
Can we, Nevada? Can we talk about your road signs for a second? Can we complain about the state, the absolute state of the Nevada road sign, or their highway signs? Guys, you have a big flat part at the top of the shape. You don't need to add this box.
Well, I think it's Utah's that to me just looks like a giant mound of poop.
Hey, yeah, it's a beehive.
I didn't know bees were a thing for Utah.
They're a thing everywhere.
A state that is mostly desert.
Well, I mean, it's not all
arid.
desert. And
I don't even...
desert ecology is very interesting. Let's gamble. What's at the top of this hill? Bighorners. It's mostly bighorners, but occasionally you win the jackpot and get jumped by night stalkers.
Yeah, New York State's one is very, very plain, very boring. But it gets the job done. I like our county ones, though. There's a nice color scheme to it.
Let's see. Oh, we're 2.5 hours in.
Here's a tier list. State highway sign tier list.
I think you're reaching for content at that point.
Well, where was this? Okay, this is a YouTube channel.
I'm tempted to pop in Halo 4 real quick and take
Oh,
a
yeah,
few
you got it.
screenshots.
Yeah, you got it.
Because I did my part. I've got a save ready for when I want to show off some beauty shots of New Vegas and Fallout 3 on the 360.
If he doesn't rank Colorado's as S tier, I'm closing out this video. Oh my god, he gave it a B tier. I'm closing out this video. Honestly, California's kind of fucks. I'm not gonna lie.
Add-on pack for the 360 for the Pit and Operation Anchorage. I managed to find one. I have the Game of the Year copy already, so it's not getting the DLC. It's really interesting to those DLC physical packs they sold. Hang on. We're missing. There's the registered trademark on the big 4.
I don't. Did you? Oh, okay. I'm waiting for this scene to switch over on stream. How old is a Halo 4? Is it 15 years yet? Are we allowed to say it's now good?
We're almost to the point where you can say it's now good. God, it doesn't. Each step just makes it more blue.
Well, don't worry. Once we get into the game, it's just all going to be gray. So, CRT should have no problems there.
This is what you're missing out on when it comes to main menus with MCC. Okay.
Chat is asking when is there going to be Spartan Ops? Didn't you threaten me last time we did that, saying that we should do this like annually?
Yeah, the annual Spartan Ops stream. No, we can't check out Spartan Ops on the Xbox because we don't have Xbox Live. No, fuck. But I should have the entire campaign unlocked. So we can, of course, go straight to the best level.
Matt finally gets to play a good game after being forced to play New Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
So true. If Pat hates Halo 4 so much, why is he always trying to get me to play it?
It's so true, yeah. I play Halo 4 a lot for somebody who hates it.
Just like how I play Skyrim so much for somebody who hates it.
Yeah.
Although I don't really hate... I don't actually hate Skyrim.
I don't hate Skyrim the same way that, like, I don't hate my chud son just because he's a fuck up and hasn't moved out after 20 years. But Skyrim...
Like, if I didn't hate Starfield, there's no way I can hate Skyrim. Let's put it that way.
The reality with Skyrim is that it should have just been like, yeah, it's an awkward entry into the Elder Scrolls series, but, you know, TES 6.
Yeah.
It's because it's been like 15 years of just Skyrim.
Yeah, it's long since overstayed its welcome. Oh, so let's be honest. Skyrim mods are pretty good. I can't really judge that when I'm actually making the videos. Gotta judge the game based on the content that's in the game, but outside of which, modded Skyrim can be fun. The problem with modded Skyrim is modding Skyrim.
I picked the level with the most MCU cutscenes possible. In fairness, this is also Star Wars. Like, this is actually directed like a Star Wars scene.
Where's Princess Leia going out into space?
Installation 3. It's where Infinity found the coordinates for Requiem.
Then why are they bypassing it?
Because the composer's not on the ring. What are you waiting for? That station's
It
not
must be
gonna save
validating
itself.
for like the people who like think that film is absurd and stuff to hear me, a complete like outsider and stuff, also pointing out that that is by far the most absurd scene I've seen in possibly any movie ever.
Well, nobody buys that anybody like genuinely thinks that fucking The Last Jedi is a good movie.
UNSC Master Chief.
It's a rage bait position.
I read you. This is Sandy Tilson of Ivanov Station. We're under attack.
They're after a Forerunner artifact.
But it's but like I can see people like are making the argument like, you're too in the sauce to be thinking like that scene is that egregious. And then
Hang
I
on.
came in with my
Hang on, there are
100%
breasts on screen.
my 100% genuine reaction.
Correct your
Sorry, did you say something? I'm looking at breasts.
I can see why you chose him, Catherine.
Cortana. Hold up. Now.
As long as it's on
Halo
CRT.
the Halo fan who desperately wants to defend Campaign Evolved, but hates Halo 4 except for the sexy Cortana.
Yeah, man, they
Can't stop them.
did something with her.
Like 1,000 of me arguing all at once.
Dr. Tilson, are you there?
Oh, thank God. When your signal
Cortana,
cut
are
off,
you
I-
expecting?
Oh fuck, this is a game that I have to play.
We've been
Yeah.
trying.
There's
The Covenant,
there's something
they've
going
already
on
taken over the landing
with your
base.
chest there. It's
Send me the coordinates. I'll see what I can do about clearing it.
Yeah, it's rampancy. It's making her tits bigger.
there's my girl.
Alright, where's this stupid hallway that is supposed to... It's a very common take online I've seen of MCC ruined the lighting, and apparently it's not just Halo 4.
Yeah.
I don't wanna
Was
play
this the hallway where we were seeing the seams in the level geometry? We could just see out the floor.
No, that's later in the level, but it's I can see how you would get confused. Get out there, coward.
Hey, you know, on the CRT there is a lot of color. Fucking eggheads, man.
Oh, the timing of it. Okay. I was like, did he just stop existing? Online Halo discourse is very funny, especially because it only happens when there's Halo news coming out, and then those accounts go dormant again until the next Halo trailer drops. You might think
wanna
that's
talk
absurd,
about a
but
cottage industry.
well, it's not a cottage. They're just spinning up the bots. They just change what topic they're into like week to week, and it's like, oh, Pat, you shouldn't diminish the. No, they're literally bots.
Yeah.
Not joking when I say that.
You're telling me the company that's like spearheading all this AI stuff, they're not going to use that to then just, make bots to grassroots AstroTurf advertising campaigns?
But like, so the way that I know that is, there's that Pirate Nation account on Twitter, and like, independent of what you think of that guy, after Halo, the campaign evolved was announced, but before, not around the time that there was any trailers for it, he like talked about a leak, and for whatever reason, none of the dick suckers were present to talk about, to like counter signal that. And that's when it became. That's when it came. The other thing was that when the trailer came out, there was a bunch of accounts that were like created either that month or the month prior, with like 20 followers, that were like getting like 40,000 views per for like dog shit takes defending it. And it's like, yeah, this seems organic. I only log onto Twitter to argue about Halo whenever there's a new trailer. I am an organic user of this website. That does sound like one of those sentences where it's like, you forgot to attach the GigaChat image. I would respect if you were an actual person who only logged onto a site to argue about Halo when there's new trailers. If that was a real person, respect. But it's not a real person, so...
Yeah.
Alright, so all you gotta do is play Halo on MCC and compare it to what this looks like right now on the... Okay?
Yeah. Homework for chat.
Yeah, play MCC, Halo 4. I picked a level that's late into the campaign, so of course, if you haven't played the campaign before, you're going to have to play pretty much all of it.
What can we do to keep the Covenant out?
Halo 4 is like that that like spam email where it's like, if you don't forward this to like 10 other people, you're gonna be cursed. Fucking ring monster's gonna come out of your TV and strangle you in your sleep.
If you don't play Halo 4 right now, they're gonna ruin your favorite game. They're gonna nerf Cortana's tits again. So it's your choice.
Man, talking about nerf though, fucking Johnson in the trailer for what are we calling it?
C-Make?
C-Make? C-Make, yeah. That was awful. So they didn't get the original voice actor to do Johnson again.
Right. Well, some people have respect. It's their self-respect.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, good on him for not chasing the bag there and just being like, I'm done with this shit. But yeah, that was brutal to like listen to this weird. It was just like so jarring.
This game looks slow. I'm gonna be real with you. It is.
Before they collect for another assault. Grease the shields.
There's sprint.
Yeah, so the levels are like bigger.
No, so you have to sprint to the next cover. No, this is actually a cover-based shooting. The game actively punishes you for not playing it that way.
No, you just play on normal, and then you can have reckless disregard.
I think that was the funniest.
Those
were the funniest parts of the mock through, when we would have to remind each other like,
this
have
is
to play it like a cover-based shooter. Get out your DMR.
Yeah, because we were playing with the Iron Skull on Legendary, so you were like actively trolling the group if you were like taking risks and like sprinting out to melee or using the shotgun. It was like, no, this is the gameplay. You sit in the back of the map.
Yeah, somebody played too much Halo 2 BR start.
That's it. Raise the barricade.
I'll figure out the button soon enough. What the? What the hell is sprint? I've done it before. A. Yeah. Okay.
What? What? What is your control scheme? Are you you must be using bumper jumper, right?
I would imagine so. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Because
So
I've always
less egregious.
I've always used sprint as just kind of a liability in multiplayer.
Yeah.
You're just kind of opening yourself up to getting killed. God, even on normal, you inevitably have to revert to doing this. And of course, it's harder for me because controller.
Yeah.
If this was mouse and
Halo
keyboard,
4
I would
was just-
annihilate this.
Halo 4 is just... What a game. I mean, we were talking about this when we were playing, but, like, it really does seem like a miracle that Halo 5 ever, like, came.
Halo 4 sold.
Yeah, and that's like the takeaway is that Halo 4 sold, and it's because we didn't have a 343 game to go off of prior. But then you look at the sales numbers for Halo 5, and it's just like, okay, yeah, that makes more sense.
That's the consequence for
Yeah.
unleashing Halo 4 onto the world. Alright, all of the headshot enemies are dead. Oh, and now the elites are aggressive. The funny part is the enemies doing it too. The enemies also sit at the back of the map with precision weapons.
Yeah, that's how it worked in,
If
in
I
Call
don't
of Duty.
if I don't see myself having the ability to lower my weapon and get speed lines, I don't want to play it. There's not even speed lines in 4. That's the funny part of the Steam-make, is they added speed lines to sprint.
I just got to the part where they were talking about atheism, and there is some Christian, mostly Catholic theologians that would argue Mormonism is a form of atheism because of the rejection of the Trinity. Listen, the Catholics did... You do anything that violates the Trinity, you're labeled a heretic.
Yeah, that's just a fancy way of saying you're going to the super hell. Just sitting at the back of the map. Just sitting back there. Just hanging out, watching each other from a distance.
Yeah, I mean...
Doing a little jig.
Throw some grenades. Remember, this is Call of Duty now.
I think he was doing the friendly wiggle, so... Oh, there was one more grunt. Okay, so they get knocked down to 3 enemies, and then they get aggressive and start charging.
Yeah.
Third-person mode in Halo. What do you think? They had to make it palatable to PlayStation fans, right?
Wait, what?
There's a third-person mode for the C-Make.
What?
What? What's the problem?
There's no problem.
Runway 7 is secure, and we're moving toward your position now.
Really? That's incredible. Thank you.
I was like, it would be amusing if he ran into the shield and then he dodged at the last second. I was like, okay, so they're doing it different, and then he crashed into it anyways. So it's like, pick a lane. Yes,
Now
you're very
added
clever
perk.
if you're commenting that, oh, you changed games midstream. I don't remember New Vegas looking like this. Yes, you're very clever. That I'm not changing the title of the stream so that when people watch the VOD they're then confused. Why is he playing New Vegas at the start of a fucking VOD called Halo 4? I'm doing this so that we don't have to have a week where we play fucking Halo 4 and that's it. Would you prefer that? Because I don't.
C-Chat, he will only commit to playing if he drags me into it and makes me suffer along with him. Suddenly he has to play Halo 4 by himself, and oh no, you can only play it for 40 minutes.
Yeah, I'm like, oh no, Xbox Live is down. I guess we're gonna have to cancel the stream. Fucking making you get a 360 and install Insignia to play Halo 4.
Yeah. Just like, Xbox Live is down. I guess I'm just gonna play some OpenMW.
I think they're dead, guys.
Now I have to ask the most pertinent question. Was this copy of Halo 4 still sealed when you got it?
No. I would never do something like open a sealed copy of Halo 4. Oh yeah, it's doing the sound design.
The composer is. Just that it's on the station.
There's a disc too, and I don't know what's on it.
Well, you opened a sealed copy of
The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
It was worth it though.
And then proceeded to throw it across the room.
Well, you know, I opened a sealed copy of the Kaiser Funko Pop.
Oh yeah, Funko Pop.
And I sawed it in half, so. Is this the hallway? You know what stands out about the lighting in the authentic Halo 4? It's really bright. It's
Yeah, right.
Help us! A pair of hunters forced their way in.
Silence Woman.
Calibrated for heavy armor. Please.
I feel like the
are you
lighting
woke?
is better. It doesn't look nearly as flat.
Well, that's the problem with not being able to boot up Spartan Ops, but we can this.
I mean, the shadows are still fucked. Like, things are casting shadows in weird ways. Other things are not casting shadows at all. But there does seem to be, like... I feel like there's just, like, a missing bloom effect in the MCC version.
I know what to do. Well, actually, I don't know what the name of the level. 1 second. Daybreak, Erosion, Exile, Harvest, Haven, Impact, Landfall? The fuck are these places? Ragnarok, there we go. This is the quintessential level for Spartan Ops. Even if we can't load Spartan Ops, we can load the level.
Capture the flag.
Gotta go back to that. Go back to that classic Halo well. Go back to the stuff that Bungie made. Nobody wants our levels, so let's just do Blood Gulch again.
There's the lighting I remember.
Yeah, I think this looks better. Maybe it's because I'm looking at a smaller image on my screen. If it was like a full image on my screen, it might look more authentic. God,
I mean,
those textures though. Oh my god. Ooh, okay. Alright, yeah, I think the lighting is fucked still. It's the fucking metal. Like, all the metal that just looks like plastic. There's no
we did that to help
metallic
sell
property
toys.
to it. Yeah, right.
I could buy that the lighting's a little worse, but I think it's an overstated issue. I don't think people are hating Halo 4 only because they're playing it on MCC and the lighting looks worse. I don't buy that, like, if they fix the lighting on MCC, that suddenly the consensus on the game is going to turn around.
You gotta load up a level that's just like Forerunner hallways, like the one with the fucking Pelican race. Because that's where I remember the lighting being the absolute fucking dog shit worst. Yeah, this does look really bad though. What was this? It's a Halo. It's a Xbox One game that was forced to be on the 360, right?
Yeah, that's the theory. All right, well, this has been fun. Next week is going to be a Star Wars game.
Ooh, all right. But we didn't even talk about how the Halo C-Make is going to be like even a 5090, a GTX 5090 wasn't able to crack past 100 FPS on it.
I thought they got it working on like a 3080.
That's I just saw something today that said they tested it ultra settings for not even 4K, it was 2K. It was 1440p. And
they
on
can't
a
crack
5090
100.
it was like at about 100.
Well, listen, we here at Microsoft, we target 30 FPS, so
yeah,
it is one of those things where it always feels like a grift to me when somebody's like, games these days should be like able to run at 240 FPS with the like graphical standard raised, and it's just like,
nah,
come on.
But at the same time, a 5090, like I saw that what that game looked like. That was with that sort of hardware and shit, you should be doing like 200 FPS.
But
at 2K,
it's an Unreal Engine game, so I'm looking forward to it being 100 gigabytes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh.
That's the requirement. It's not like 150
of shader.
Yeah, the 15 minutes of shader building.
I'm looking forward to the fucked ecosystem between Steam and Xbox Live. I cannot see what new way the fucking that whole ecosystem
the Microsoft login is gonna fail.
Yeah. Like Forza Horizon 6 is just like one.
Yeah, it is weird that I can.
It just would not load. Just would not load my save game.
It is weird that I put in a Halo game and played it, and like I didn't have to sign in to a Microsoft account. It's very strange, and it just kind of works. I mean, Spartan Ops are gone, but I do like the. This is funny seeing Waypoint on the main menu. All right. We'll see you next week, chat. There may be Fallout streams soon on the main channel, so.
Oh, we gotta watch videos again.
Well,
So that's
it's probably going to start with like reading some articles, interviews,
okay. All right.
and then we'll watch the videos.
Oh boy.
So, look forward to it. I'll see you guys at UFC Freedom 250. I spent all of my savings on the $1.5 million ticket.
Is that really a thing?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
you should look into that.
It'd be funny if like the only person who shows up with that ticket is like Kanye West. He shows up, he's like, "Oh, I paid the 1.5 million. I expect to be fighting in the ring."
Yeah, Kanye West shows up. He thought that he was paying to fight.
Why the fuck else would I pay $1.5 million for a fucking ticket to see?
I'm a
UFC?
performer.
I got pay-per-view.
I got scammed. All right. See you guys.
Bye.
Come on, live. Because I think it's in like 20 minutes.
Is it? I thought it was at 8 o'clock. Let me see. Yeah, he's live now.
Okay, can you send me the link?
Yes.
Live chat. Did I not copy it? Copy. Paste. There we go. YouTube backend's broken. Oh,
Nice.
but I did see it pop up. So if this is making it into the stream, go watch Andy. He's streaming about Halo.